Looking at a dark and brooding robot, Tim. It's a dark and brooding robot with a shiny helmet, smoldering flames in the background. You gotta look at this robot and wonder, what happened to him? Why is he so upset? What is his life?
Is his name Chappie?
Dude, yes! Now, officially, as right now, I have called it, we are playing Call of Duty Black Ops 2, 3, whatever, starring Chappie. I didn't see Chappie. I have no idea.
Neither did I, because Neil Blomkamp has some great ideas that he just can't execute. District 9 was great. And then Elysium was real bad.
Elysium.
And real heavy-handed. It was kind of cool, though, seeing that spacecraft or whatever hovering above Earth, because it looked like the Citadel. Or it didn't look like... It reminded me of the Citadel from Mass Effect.
Oh, yeah?
But other than that, that movie was bad. Matt Damon was not great. It just wasn't good. And Chappie looked kind of cool, but then I heard things that it just wasn't good.
Was bad.
It's like, well, I don't think Neil Blomkamp can do anything other than short films, which he was really good at. Like, he did the Halo short films, which were awesome, leading up to Halo 3. And he did some really cool TV commercials, but and District 9 was the scraps of what the Halo movie was going to be. And then I just don't think that he can... I don't know. I don't think he's skilled enough as a director to kind of pull off his grand ideas.
Well, with that, welcome to Engadget Playdate. I'm Sean Buckley with Tim Seppala, and today is Thursday, November 19th, and we're going to be playing Call of Duty Black Ops 3. And I just had to do that intro because otherwise we were going to talk about movies and people are not going to know what show they're watching.
It happens. I mean, I think that's the fastest we've gone from streaming to movie discussion.
Yeah, that is, like, definitely the fastest.
That's the fastest. Real quick.
Tim, we get a choice. Choose gender. Do I want to be a bald... Okay, lady.
A lady.
She's a redhead, too, I think. Oh, I get to, no, I get to choose what she is. I didn't realize there was character creation.
Yeah, it's well, we were saying something about it in the pre-show. It's like Halo Reach in that you create your character for the campaign.
This says select face, but all it's doing is changing the hair.
I think you should play as a ginger lady.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make her as pale as possible. We're gonna have the most ginger Irishest lady possible. Except for now she's. I thought I was gonna get to choose her hair. I guess not.
Hey, Milkmaid, what's up? Good to see you here. Also, Smith, good to see you as well. Thank you for joining us on this afternoon.
Let's go regular.
So, Sean, what is your take on Call of Duty at this point? I mean, it's been...
Hey, when the call goes out, you got to do your duty. Really?
I am 12.
Really?
No, like I had a business law class, and we were talking about contract law and things, and now it was all about discharging your duty, and you'd be relieved of your duty in the contract. And this was a couple years ago. And even then, it was a night class that was full of primarily older students. Nobody was immune to laughing about talking about doing their duty.
See, I've never, that's never been what I've thought of, to be honest. Like, when that joke comes up. Like in Wreck-It Ralph, when they make all those heroes' duty jokes.
Yet.
Oh, it's funny. How do you turn on subtitles? That's like a thing I want to do. Audio.
It'll be in the sound options, usually.
Yes, on. Like, that's never just what I go to. We're starting the campaign, by the way, for everyone in chat. We're just going to do, like, about an hour of the campaign. We're going to do maybe an hour multiplayer, unless we're really engrossed in the campaign, which I don't expect us to be.
Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen.
Duke says he always liked the campaigns, even though they were so over the top. I have only played one Call of Duty campaign ever, and I think it was Black Ops 2. It was, all I remember is there's this one scene where you turn into the bad guy, and like your sister is kidnapped or something. This is
a really cool, evocative opening sequence, at least.
Yeah,
I like this opening. This is really neat.
But it's really over the top. You're screaming and like in berserker mode and basically killing people with your bare hands, yelling "Josephina!" It was just too hilarious to take seriously.
The last Call of Duty campaign that I completed was Modern Warfare 2, and I really like Modern Warfare 1 a lot. a lot. I love the multiplayer.
Oh yeah, well the
It
first
worked
one
for me.
that's what brought the series back to life or to
Yeah,
life.
Call of Duty 4 was.
Yeah.
Well, Call of Duty 2 was good. It was an Xbox 360 launch title. Call of Duty before that had just been a PC franchise, and they brought it in, and it always focused on historical battles, and that's what I liked about it, is that it was, as far as I know, it was all soldiers that you were fighting alongside were actually real people. They all had names over their heads.
Right. It was.
And that was really neat. It was well, every other game was doing Normandy Beach over and over. Call of Duty 2's opening levels were the Battle of Pont du Hoc, which was a battle that was adjacent to the Normandy Beach invasion, and it was still awesome. It was still super cool. And then, Call of Duty 4 happened, and it changed everything. And
well, at the time it was a really good thing. Like at 4, because 4 was like, it was a really fresh change. We needed to get away from the World War II thing for a while. It was really solid playing game. It had a lot of great things going for it, but then like, I feel like it kind of stagnated for a while. They're still fun games. I don't fault anyone for liking them.
Right.
I've bought a couple of Call of Duty games and I enjoy them. But like, they're popcorn games. We'll get into that more later. Duke is saying he's a Battlefield guy, and I've also kind of always been a Battlefield guy, just because having that immersion of vehicles and the larger maps. Like, I remember when Battlefield 1942 came out, that was like a really big deal.
Right. Smith says he doesn't understand the hate for Call of Duty. I understand it's the same game year in and year out, but I always find the career entertaining and cinematic, though a little short. Multiplayer can be fun.
Right, it's a solid multiplayer experience, and they're finally doing things to shake it up again. I think the problem was for a while they didn't do anything, and since Modern Warfare they've been like, no, let's make it different, which is what it.
Yeah.
Can you skip this? You can't.
I don't know. And Black Ops is always, everybody's always kind of said Treyarch, since. Once the developers from Infinity Ward left, I forget their names, but they left to go start Respawn. Infinity Ward was kind of an entirely different company after that. And everybody always kind of looked at Treyarch as making the really good inventive Call of Duty, especially with Black Ops. And like now we've gotten to the point where I've read a couple of reviews for this, and it's like, well, all right, I mean, whatever works for you. It just doesn't do anything for me anymore. I don't like how linear it is, and I'm all for linear games. But
so I don't understand what you mean by that. Then
you can only do something exactly in the exact spot and at the exact moment that they tell you to.
Oh, maybe.
Campaign. So it robs some of the cool factor of it. It's not like, oh, hey, I have these gloves that I can walk up any wall with, which you could do in Advanced Warfare last year. There were paramagnetic gloves you could use to scale walls, but you could scale one wall in one exact position to go one place. And it's like it felt claustrophobic to me. And the big thing that I really disliked, and what really turned me off about Advanced Warfare, was there's a mission set in Detroit, and it's set at night. I live in Michigan.
So
yeah. So there's a mission set in Detroit, and all they used it for was a shorthand of saying "destroyed city." Detroit could have been any other city in the world. Period.
You're just offended that it was Detroit?
Well, no, I'm offended at how it was portrayed and how they went about things. It was, like I said, it was shorthand.
Wait, that was stupid. Oh my gosh. All right. So you were just talking about things that are dumb and scripted? So the door was open for this guard station. I went in, I stood next to him, I looked at him, he like saw me, and then I backed out because like, alright, I can't do anything. And then my partner sneaks up behind him and stealth kills him.
Yeah.
Because the script didn't expect for him to... That was awful.
And I always felt like I had to wait for my teammates to catch up so I could do anything. Or I had to constantly follow my teammates to do anything. I never felt any freedom whatsoever.
Yeah, that's kind of what's happening now is Hendrix here. I have to wait for him to do anything. I can't even lift my gun up. Because
it's so strange.
I kind of prefer like where they let you shoot someone and then it says you failed the mission, you idiot.
Yeah. Well, like to go back to my problems with Advanced Warfare, okay, like I said, they had a mission set in Detroit. There were a couple of throwaway lines of dialogue. One was something like, "Oh, this hasn't really improved much since," or like, "Oh, so this is Detroit, huh? Doesn't really look any different than any of the other cities we've been in," or something like that. And I was like, really? You guys are going to be dicks about it like that? And then there's like a bank that says Detroit Bank or something, but the city doesn't look anything like Detroit. There's nothing there at all. Like I said, it's shorthand, and that really pisses me off because if you look at something like Deus Ex Human Revolution, which had a setting in Detroit, which was great. Or you look at something like the upcoming Detroit from Quantic Dream, and it's like, all right, they get it. They know what's going on here. And it felt offensive to me as somebody that they were essentially just using a stereotype of Detroit for a stand-in. And I was like, all right.
Like no one who'd ever been to Detroit had like worked on the game is what it felt like.
Right. Yeah. That's
oh my
exactly
gosh.
I couldn't deal with it. I was like, all right, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm done.
This is like, I know it's trying to do the shocking Call of Duty thing right now, but like it's like we're going through video feeds. It's not letting me look away either.
Oh, that's not even waterboard. That's like,
no, it's not. They're just pouring water down his throat.
Torture.
Right.
I mean, that's worse than waterboard.
Like yeah, it's just making me look at these various scenes of torture, and I can't not look at them. Like it won't let me look away. The only option I can do is see a different torture. I mean, it's not that shocking, but you know, it's kind of like.
No, but it's cheap.
It's a little cheap.
It's a cheap thing.
And but I'm trying to find a guy to rescue. But I think it's an orgy of evidence that these bad guys torture people. That's all. Come on, let me leave.
It's just. It's really. I don't expect Oscar performances out of summer blockbuster movies, and that's what this is. Like you said, this is
right. There's nothing wrong with it either. I mean, I'm giving it a hard time because that's my job. But I mean,
the fact that you can't do anything, I can't look away. You literally cannot look away.
Right. Trust me. I think the other thing is, I like my Call of Duty games. I do play them, but I never play the single player. I haven't played single player since Black Ops 2, and I don't miss it. You know, I really enjoyed Advanced Warfare multiplayer, but I got Advanced Warfare for like $20. So.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna jump into chat here really quick. All right. Let's see here. Smith, all right. Duke says that Normandy Beach is still a wonderful start. It is, but the thing is after Saving Private Ryan came out, everybody was trying to replicate Normandy Beach in every game. Every shooter had it. Steel Battalion had a Normandy Beach.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And then Halo, Silent Cartographer. That opening mission is basically a version of Normandy Beach. So it's something that everybody tried latching onto and doing, and. Like when I bought Saving Private Ryan on Blu-ray, not that long ago, and I watched it. That opening scene is super effective.
Right.
In terms of just, it really makes you stop and think.
I kind of feel like that's hard to replicate in the video game, like what that scene evokes.
Oh yeah, definitely. Because of especially with how Spielberg used the camera, and you never saw the Germans' faces. It was always, they felt alien, like super alien. It isn't until later on in the movie that he humanizes the Germans when Oppum lets a couple of them live, and yeah, it's a whole thing. But I don't know where I was going with this. Oh yeah, I was in chat.
Can't figure out what the
Call of Duty is the Madden of shooters. That's I'll take pretty good analogy.
I mean, that's fair. I mean, I mean, let's be fair to what Call of Duty is. I mean, considering that they pump one out every single year, they're pretty high quality games.
Oh yeah, they're incredibly high quality games. Especially, yeah, like you said, they're pumping one out every year. They have 3 teams working on them, so it's better than when it was just Treyarch and Activision, or Treyarch and Infinity Ward.
Right. I mean, they're simple. They have their flaws. They're iterative. But I mean, if you're putting something out every year, it's just as iterative as the cell phones we buy.
Right. Well, it's iterative, and the idea that it works. That's the thing, is Call of Duty works every time.
Right, and there's small changes leading up to it. Like if you played the first Black Ops and then you waited to play this game, you're going to see some big changes because it's been years.
Yeah, if you play no Call of Duties in between these two.
Right. So I think that's the thing. Call of Duty's advancement take years to come to fruition because they make little changes and tweaks with every game that if they don't work, they can't ruin the game. But if they do work, they add up to a greater whole in a later game.
Yeah, and I've interviewed people from Activision about that, and they said, yeah, you know, the thing is we have to come out, we have to work every year, and that's the one hallmark we have, and that's why people keep coming back, is because it works every year.
Right, like you can always, when a new console comes out, you can always buy the Call of Duty game and have a good time in multiplayer.
Yeah, unlike something like Battlefield reinvents the wheel basically every time they release a game, and
well, not 3 and 4 weren't that different, but yeah, otherwise.
Yeah, but they reinvent the wheel every time, and it's like, oh, that introduces all kinds of new problems to fix instead of working on the ones that might have already existed.
Right. Like if there's a new Battlefront game every year, that'll be like the same problem.
Yeah. which was good to see that EA is, taking time and delaying stuff when it needs to be delayed.
Yeah.
So let's see here. Milkmaid says, I'm just so used to first-person shooter with mouse and keyboard. Console first-person shooters feel so weird for me. I played a ton of Counter-Strike, was on the sponsor team in the mid-2000s. I'm old. Yeah, we're like you said, Sean, we're playing on PC today.
Right. I also have a hard time, just because I grew up using a mouse and keyboard, sometimes it takes me time to adjust to playing with the controller. I can do it. Like, I have Advanced Warfare on the PS4 because I got it on a sale. I'm like, sure, that's the kind of game I'm going to get a beer with and sit on the couch with. But like, it doesn't feel as natural with me until the mouse and keyboard. And right now, I'm trying to teach myself to use the Steam controller for Battlefield and a few other games because I want to, be able to see if I can be competitive with that. And it's the same thing. It's like this learning curve based on. It's like so different from what I've been doing. I mean, I've been using a mouse and keyboard for 25 years. I've been using a dual stick controller for only 17, and usually not with FPSs because I already had PC, which was what works for me.
Right.
So it's different. I'm not going to say it's better or okay or the same because controller, as a matter of fact, you just have less control with the gamepad. But that's okay because they compensate it with software, and you're still having fun, and that's all that matters.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to. I got the wireless adapter for Windows 10 for the Xbox controllers, for the Xbox One controllers. So what I'm going to do is, I've talked about this on the stream before, is when I bought the Hotline Miami 2 soundtrack, I got it on vinyl, and it came with a download code for the game and the soundtrack, and those are both tied to Steam. I was like, it'd be great if I had these on, if I was given the option to choose from PlayStation or PC when I made this order, but because I'm never going to play Hotline Miami 2 this way. But now that I have I'm going to give it a shot with the Xbox One controller. And
that game, Hotline Miami is a game I definitely enjoyed more with my Xbox controller than when I tried to play it with mouse and keyboard.
It's way better with a Vita.
Yeah, it's because you have the touchscreen. Yeah. Like, they actually did good touchscreen integration.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. Okay, Smith is saying that he would like to see a World War II Call of Duty again, or at least something not futuristic for 1 year. And Duke agrees, saying that he's not into the futuristic thing. He'd rather try that robot game. I don't know what he means by that robot game.
Titanfall?
Titanfall?
I mean, I don't know. They were doing modern for so long, and I think they were only really futuristic. Besides, they were always like 5 years out or 10 years out.
Yeah.
I think the Call of Duty, one at 4 or 5 or 6 was now.
Yeah.
Are we at 6? I don't even know.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah, Advanced Warfare was the only one that was really far out. I really liked Advanced Warfare because it, for the first time in a long time, changed things, adding the double jump, making it a little more arcadey, because they're not realistic shooters to start with, like physics-wise. But what I didn't like about Advanced Warfare, and we'll see if that applies to multiplayer this time around, when we get to multiplayer, is that you had this jump pack and you could run on walls, and that was a lot of fun. But there were you could get to places you couldn't get, like they were game walls stopping you from jumping on top of things instead of the physics. Like, the world should have been built so I couldn't get on top of that building. They shouldn't be an invisible wall keeping me from being on that building. So that's what bothered me the most about that game.
It's 2014. Like last year, it was 2014 last year.
Yeah,
invisible walls shouldn't exist anymore.
It's 2014. Use the level design to stop me. Don't use invisible walls to stop me. Yeah. But I liked otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I just kept having this thing where I kept trying to say, oh, that would be a great place to pick people off from. Oh, I can't get up there. Oh, now I'm dead. And again, I can't use my gun.
So Duke brings up Battlefront in chat and says it needs more maps.
Yeah.
So I was telling you before the stream started that...
Oh, yeah, this story.
Yep, I was on my way back up to my apartment after running a couple errands before the stream. And I stopped and I talked to a guy that was in the lobby with me. And when I was down in my apartment lobby doing the photo shoot for the Pit Boy edition, he walked by. He's like, "Oh man, Fallout 4." I said, "Yeah, it's really good." And don't feel bad if you didn't get the Pit Boy. I said, because the app is where the heart of the experience. I said it's just gonna go on my shelf. He goes, "Oh, okay." I'm waiting 9 days for Battlefront. I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
That's a good choice. Well, I mean, it was a valid choice at the time, at least.
Yeah. And I said, "All right, cool." So I saw him today in the lobby, and he has Star Wars tattoos. He has the Rebel logo on one elbow and the Imperial logo on another.
Oh man, he's on the fence, is he?
He's a hardcore Star Wars.
Can't choose a side in the Galactic War. I see what he is. Opportunist.
Anyways, and I asked him. I said, "Hey, how's Battlefront holding up to you?" I said, "Do you like it?" And he gave me a shrug. He's like, "Eh."
Oh.
I was like, "What's wrong?" He goes, I said, yeah. I said 5 maps. He goes, yeah, that's a big thing.
5 maps.
Yeah, and I said, yeah, that's the thing. I said, but then they're gonna sell you a bunch more afterward. He goes, yeah, at like $20 a pop for the DLC. I said, yeah. I was like, I'm sorry, man. He goes,
EA's gonna EA, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I could see that. I mean, there are valid complaints. I think a lot of the complaints I've seen about Battlefront aren't valid, but some of them are. Like, it's not. It is only the 5 maps have like. Each one has like 2 modes, so it's like 10 different battles you can have.
Dude,
but
that's like saying that from the N64 era, oh, hey, you have all these racing game tracks. There are about a dozen tracks, but then there's mirror mode, so it's doubling the
well,
tracks.
no, it's not quite like that. This because no, that's not what's happening. You're misunderstanding what I'm saying.
Misunderstanding on purpose.
Yeah, I know. But it's like in Battlefield they do that too. In Battlefield they have these really large maps in like Battlefield 3 and 4.
Size and game type. I know.
Right, right. Like, and certain areas aren't accessible in certain game types. So it's like effectively one mode. You're playing a different map because you are in an area that you can't access from the other mode at all.
Yeah, and rush mode breaks it down even further.
Right. So, but that it is true though. When you're in the mode that has the full map, you're kind of like, why isn't everything just the full map? And there are a bunch more maps, and that's a valid thing too.
Right, like separating it into squads and then giving you squad battles to do instead of it
right.
Makes more sense. I make it more like Battlefield at that point. I can understand why DICE might not have done that because of the they wanted a separate identity between Battlefront and Battlefield.
They also wanted it to be more casual, obviously, which is the right choice for a Star Wars game. You don't want a highly technical, not that Battlefield's highly technical, but you don't want to Arma up a Star Wars game.
Right. Milkmaid asks if all the Call of Duty stories connect with the sub-franchises, like do all the Black Ops connect? As far as I understand, yeah, all the Black Opses connect. I don't know where we're going anymore from this. Like, is there going to be an Advanced Warfare 2? I
think this is Advanced Warfare 2. Like, unofficially. That's what it feels like to me. Yeah, because, I mean, you got the jump jets and all the stuff that was in... I mean, in multiplayer, at least, it seemed like you had a lot of the stuff that was in Advanced Warfare 2, the technology, so... I mean, not Advanced Warfare 2, I mean, in Advanced Warfare.
Like, I got, in Advanced Warfare, the furthest I got, I finished the Detroit mission, and it bothered me because it was just super... It reminded me of how little control or how little agency I had in terms of the game, because it was on. It's like, oh, okay, cool. I'm on a jetpack, or I'm on a basically a jet ski right now, floating through the water or going through the water, and I was like, oh wait, I can just go down this one path. There's no real. I mean, there was no real reason for me to keep playing. It's like I don't feel empowered by this at all. I don't feel like I have anything I do has any say in it.
This was a mistake.
And it's not my thing. I understand that people love Call of Duty. That's fine. They're great. If people want to like Call of Duty, people like Call of Duty. I'm not the type of person to judge somebody based on their media preferences. But Call of Duty is just not for me.
I mean, I can't argue with you because I didn't play the campaign, and that's the thing is the campaigns. I have so many other games that are like have way deeper campaigns that I can play that I'm just not interested. Like,
and if I want to play a military shooter, I don't want to play something super. Like, I like Bad Company 2's campaign a ton. It's great. There are so many barbs thrown at action movie tropes and at Call of Duty in general. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. There's a mission that takes place in a snowstorm or something like that, and it came out just after Modern Warfare 2 had. And Modern Warfare 2 had a section where you're going on a snowmobile. There's whiteout conditions, and you have to use a heartbeat monitor to find your enemies and stuff.
I'm fighting like an idiot. I keep rushing in, just thinking, it's a Call of Duty game. I don't need to worry about the AI. I can just run to the objective, and I keep dying.
Well,
go on. Sorry.
So you're at the beginning of this mission on a mountainside with with Bad Company 2, and the teammates are like, yeah, what should we do? Should we call for backup? And one of the guy goes, nah. He goes, nah, don't call for backup. They'll just send in a bunch of bleep with heartbeat monitors. Yeah, and it's the slang word for a cat that's also something else. So obviously I can't say that.
You could have just said pansies.
Okay, they said they'll just send in some Spec Ops pansies with heartbeat monitors. I was like, all right. I was like, there's just so many cool things, and then there's a mission where you're in a jungle near a logging camp, and they're just walking past these huge stacks and cords of wood, and one of the guys says something along the lines of, wait, we're surrounded by wood? And the sergeant's like, Yep, we are. And he goes, so we're in a forest. We're just surrounded by wood. And then the sergeant goes, we have just entered the dawn of a whole new age of euphemism.
That's stupid.
The writing is, it's so stupid, but it's so funny and it's so earnest and so heartfelt that I love that. I love that.
Tim, for you wonderful viewers out there, has been nerding out about Bad Company 2 to me for about a year and a half. And I like to say I refuse to play it, but the truth is I just don't even have the opportunity to play it.
Isn't it on Origin?
I do not. I'm not willing. Okay, maybe I'm not willing to pay for it.
Okay, I was saying because the campaign. I have it on PS3. I can ship you a PS3 copy.
That is
it's
so
worth
silly.
Playing, dude. It's really the multiplayer was really good, and I'm hoping that if Microsoft makes that game backwards, if Microsoft and EA rather, this isn't all on Microsoft as we learned last week. If Microsoft and EA make Bad Company 2 backwards compatible, I really hope that the multiplayer comes with it. Because I would play the crap out of that multiplayer.
What am I supposed to do here? Oh, okay. I'm supposed to run. All right. I don't know, man. Battlefield.
No, yeah.
That's not what I meant to say. Actually, I was just being a jerk. I mean, yeah, but I mean that's the point is that's a game that actually focuses on the campaign, though, right? Like that's like a thing that matters more than like
Bad Company 2. Bad Company itself was brought about to make a Battlefield game dedicated for consoles. The first Battlefield Bad Company did not come out on PC. Battlefield Bad Company 2 came out on PC, but it was also the first Battlefield Bad Company was the first game to use Frostbite engine. And they built on it from there. EA and DICE built on it from there.
Yeah, I guess that's true because at the time I think Battlefield still wasn't really having single-player campaigns.
No. Like you could get Battlefield. There was a Battlefield game on the original Xbox, but it was multiplayer. That was it. And you could teleport from person to person.
This looks really bad. I don't know what kind of technology I'm supposed to be using, but this looks really bad.
Yeah, this is really bad night vision. I don't know what this is.
Yeah, it's weird.
At all. This looks real bad.
Yeah, it looks like an indie game. Like, and I don't mean that in despair. Jess would punch me. But you know how like they do something like artistic and brightly colored just to like be different sometimes.
Yeah, I hit a section like that in Fallout last night.
Oh yeah. Oh wait, I know what you're talking about. I think in the story. But that's the thing is if I wanted a single player experience, I got like Fallout. That's not what I buy Call of Duty for.
Yeah. But some people do.
And some people do. Some people love the stories.
I like the story in Halo. That's why I was so disappointed in Halo 5. I don't know, man. Just my whole thing with Call of Duty is there's no agency whatsoever. Kotaku posted last week or earlier this week. What happens when you don't shoot any guns in Call of Duty and everything still explodes all around you?
Oh yeah, that was in a set piece sequence though.
Yeah,
but it was totally great. I was gonna bring that up later, but like it's just a turret sequence and things explode anyway because you're on this moving target and it's expecting you to be shooting. But not the whole level, but for part of the level, it absolutely doesn't matter if you even play.
Yeah, and I hate that. Like that's a problem I have. That's my problem with Call of Duty. I'm not into the multiplayer. I haven't been into the multiplayer since 4. Modern Warfare 2 felt too much like a gimme. Like you got points for breaking a death streak. Oh hey, here's some points. It was just participation ribbons everywhere.
A death streak? You mean a kill? Oh, your own death streak?
Yeah, if you broke your own death streak, you would get points.
I mean, they're fun. They give you lots of little things. I like, and Battlefront does this too. I like it when it gives you points for kill streaks. I like it when the games give you points for kill assists.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like tagging. So my class that I would always play as in Bad Company 2 and Battlefield games after that was I'd play the medic because I would get points by doing things to help the team. I would revive teammates, I would drop med packs. It wasn't a gimme. Also, I could kill mother effers.
Oh yeah.
Defibrillator paddle.
Battle medic, like that's why I like Battlefield better. Battle medic is more of a thing in that game than it is in Call of Duty.
Well, there's no squad. There's no class in Call of Duty.
Right, there's no class really in Call of Duty, but like I like it in Battlefield because it reminds me of Return to Castle Wolfenstein, which had like distinct classes and they were all really useful.
Play Enemy Territory Quake Wars?
I did not play Quake Wars, but I did play Return to Castle Wolfenstein Enemy Territory, which again is also the same engine. But it's
it was the guys from Splash Damage that did Brink made made Enemy Territory Quake Wars, and it was. I never played it, but I remember this was around 2007, 2008, and I remember listening to One Up Yours, just hearing everybody talk about it. It sounded like the coolest game ever in terms of class system and things like that. It just sounded awesome. It made me jealous that I couldn't play on a PC.
That you'll see this in a second. That's weird. I was
we're about to go into the section that you can
do nothing,
but things will explode. Let's
do
that.
But even better, I stood on top of it and nothing happened. Like I stood on top. I mean, I stood on top of it and pressed the button, and I instantly teleported out. Here we're gonna do nothing and watch things explode for a while.
Yep.
Not doing anything. Let's see if I can die, or if it's like they said.
I bet you can't die.
Maybe they patched it and fixed it because these things aren't exploding so much.
I think we should test this theory.
I'm not doing anything.
What difficulty level are you
I'm on, I don't know, medium. I am getting complimented for my shooting that I'm not doing. That's nice.
Participation medals, man.
Oh, man. Okay, I fired 1 bullet at this, this airplane and it just exploded. Shouldn't have fired that 1 bullet.
Yeah, Duke, you can go ahead and drop commercials in for Bad Company. That's totally cool.
But I mean, yeah, Bad Company, and yeah, things are just exploding on their own. This is great. Partially from other people shooting. I think one guy just popped in front of me for no reason.
I mean, this game delivers on spectacle, but it's also, this is my problem with Call of Duty 4 was great because each mission felt distinct and felt different. There was some very good pacing and some very good changes in terms of every mission felt different. You were always doing something different. Modern Warfare 2 just felt like it was go, 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 and every mission blended together. But I can recall 5 or 6 different missions from Call of Duty 4. The one where you're playing Overwatch with the AC-130 gunship, the mission where you are going through the Afghanistan or the Middle Eastern streets in the beginning, and then you end up. The intro was insane because you got killed in the intro. The nuke going off, the section with what was it? It was when you were going through the Chernobyl area. There were 2 separate missions on that were awesome. I can just keep naming off missions from that game because they were all super good. The only thing I can remember about Modern Warfare 2 was the airport mission, where, like when you saw earlier, the torture, you couldn't look away.
Or like, yeah, where it forces you to be the bad guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Or to be complacent.
You don't have to shoot anybody, but still, like, you're there. You're complicit in this.
Right.
Like, that was powerful, but it didn't feel earned. And I think that's a big thing with Call of Duty. Is like nothing that it's doing feels earned.
I had something to say about that whole situation, but the ridiculousness of all this made me forget.
Oh yeah, right. There what was it? The first mission. So the first like real mission in Call of Duty 4, and this is something that Smith is talking about, was you were the fresh new guy. You were the fresh meat on the team, and you were doing the infiltration on the battleship or whatever. And everybody, like, I remember it's one of the first things. You go through the first door, and everybody pushes around you because you're the new guy. And it's like, oh crap! I really feel like I am the rookie team here. Everybody's going at me. Like, it was really good. It was super good. And then it's just, I think that I want to go back through. I'm going to probably play through that game this weekend on my TV and my surround sound because I never got a chance to do that before. So.
Oh man, I think something I'm like captured or something.
Well,
story. There's like a robot standing over me, and I'm punching him, and it's obviously not working. Oh yeah, I think I know what's gonna happen. Yeah, they're ripping her arms off. This is gross. Because in multiplayer you have robo arms, and that's what they're doing. They're making you needing those robot arms.
Oh, boy.
You're gonna hate VR, Tim, because it's all stuff like Call of Duty, where it's yeah, it's gross.
I'm gonna be very judicious about what I do in VR, and
well, you're gonna hate it not necessarily because this gross stuff. You're gonna hate it because it's all super. Oh, this is kind of sad. Anyway,
he is just not letting go. This girl is dead.
Well, no, because they save you. Anyway, you're not gonna like it because it's all super. It's like that things are exploding in their own sequence we just went through. It's like all guided experiences because they want to tell you the story, and in first person, all they can do is ham fist their story down your throat.
Yeah.
It's the DM problem in D&D. If you want to tell your story, you've got to force the players to not have freedom, and that sucks.
Yeah. Well, no, I get that because I wrote about the Back to Dinosaur Island, the new thing from Crytek. I'm gonna drop that in the chat really quick. But it's very, very, very much. Where is it? It's very much scripted, and I tried the second demo that Crytek had at E3, and it was still very, very, very scripted. But for whatever reason, the scripting didn't bother me because I was being surrounded by dinosaurs.
Oh, Tim, this is cool. Like, this is just kind of fun from a. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but it's what's happening on screen right now. So
yeah, this is really like this is really neat, but
like we haven't been paying attention, but like this is the kind of thing that could potentially have some sort of effect. You went through that overly traumatic thing, which every Call of Duty's got to do, the shock event. But now it's like because of that shock event, like it's giving you a preview. It's like you had these life-sustaining injuries, something's happening to you, and it's kind of actually using that as a narrative to show you, that you've got robot arms like this dude in front of us now, which is cool. I wouldn't say it's like revolutionary, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. Also, that's the guy from Law and Order.
Oh, is it like his actual face?
Yep, that's his actual face.
So that's the thing these days where real actors are being portrayed in games.
Activision likes it a lot.
Yeah, Activision really likes it.
Cachet.
And then Star Citizen's doing it with Gary Oldman.
And Mark Hamill.
Yeah, and I don't mind that actually, but it's weird. I'm not sure if I'm used like I just said I didn't mind it, but I'm also not sure if I'm okay with it.
I don't know. It's for me, throwing a Hollywood actor into a video game is it kind of it bothers me because we have actors that use this medium and have grown up in this medium and have helped shape this medium. Contributions.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Using celebrity voices.
Yeah, when we have people who are way better than the celebrity voices. The celebrity voices are just a name on the back of the box.
Not if they're using facial capture for when they're doing it. Then then you actually have like you were saying with what's his face and some actor that's really good for CG that you wanted to see.
Oh, Andy Serkis.
It's like Andy Serkis, like they're using his actual
Odyssey to the West.
What?
He's in Enslaved Odyssey to the West, which is a really good game.
Right, but they're using they're using motion capture on their face to actually have their acting part of the game, which is something that a lot of voice actors can't do because all they act when they're not acting for the camera and they're doing weird things with their face.
Standing in front of a microphone. And
right, and it's super fun to watch them, but it's not always stuff you would want to see on camera during the time that you're doing that.
But to counter that point, Naughty Dog does this stuff all the time with non-standard actors. So I really don't have I don't agree with you here on this, Sean.
No, you don't understand my point. Like when a voice actor is making like their facial expressions when they're really getting into a role, it may sound right, but what they're doing with their face
it doesn't look right at all.
Yeah, it isn't something you can face capture. So it doesn't have to be a Hollywood star, but if you're going to use face capture, you have to have someone that knows how to act for the camera. Because,
right. No, I get that.
Yeah, that's all I mean.
And Duke says it's like how Revolver Ocelot in Metal Gear Solid 5 looks so much like Troy Baker now, as opposed to the old Ocelot from Metal Gear Solid.
Right. I agree with your larger point, though, that choosing to use celebrities because they're celebrities devalues the talent of pure voice acting. And that's a separate talent that needs to be valued. Like if you watch I think it's called The Voice, and it's on Netflix, and it's about some famous, it's a bunch of voice actors getting together. Joe DiMaggio put it together.
Oh yeah, I watched it. It was really good.
Yeah,
was
really good.
That guy who was in that thing, or was it called The Voice?
I think it was.
Yeah, I watched it. It was excellent.
I think it was called The Voice, or What's That Voice, or I Know That Voice. I know
that voice.
I know that voice. Yeah, and it's excellent, and I think that a lot of people pass over that kind of talent. Because those guys are wildly talented.
Yeah, Duke, I'm gonna call it 5 forever. You can deal with it.
What's he calling 5?
So I said Metal Gear Solid 5 instead of Metal Gear Solid V. Metal Gear Solid V is a huge
dude.
He told me about it. No, it's a huge plot point.
Oh, that it's called. It's technically a V. It's not actually supposed to be 5.
Right.
Dude, on the cover, it's a Roman numeral. Whatever they call it in the game to be clever doesn't matter, but it is definitely a Roman numeral on the cover.
Thing, and I'm not gonna be a dick and spoil.
Unless Kojima comes out and says, "Don't call it 5," I'm not gonna.
No, there's stuff that happens in the story that explains why it's V instead of 5. Like,
yeah, in the context of the game, but not on the cover of the box.
No, right, you're right.
Yeah, it's a Roman numeral. In the context of the game, you can do whatever you want to be clever. And I died.
Duke says it's the first Metal Gear to use a Roman numeral.
Okay, well then maybe he has an argument, but I still don't like it.
I'd say that's a good argument.
But it's like, but I, you know what's interesting about this? I remember when Mega Man X came out, someone was arguing with me. They're like, "Oh yeah, it's Mega Man 10." I'm like, "No, it's Mega Man X. There's only been 6 Mega Mans." He's like, "No, it's Mega Man 10."
Yeah, Sean, same argument, different game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna disagree, but I've never played a Metal Gear Solid, including 5, so.
You still need to go back through and play through that intro.
Yeah, I do, but they'll probably, you know, I'm probably gonna actually play the game in February.
What?
I'll probably play it in February, to be honest.
Why? What's in February?
In February is me probably being done with Fallout.
Oh, okay.
That's all. That's when I'll have time.
Yeah, because, dude, honestly, anytime I'm playing a game that isn't Fallout, all I'm thinking about is playing Fallout.
Yeah, like whenever I play Battlefront now, I'm like stuck between like, I wish I was playing Fallout, but then I'd wish I was playing Battlefront, then I wish I was,
Yeah, I played some Battlefront the other night after we were done streaming when I got off of work, and I wanted to do the speeder bike stuff, and I was like, oh wow, okay. Those speeder bikes are not made to be played or used if you are not 100%. Like if you've had a couple drinks, don't do the speeder bikes.
That sounds
it's a bad idea.
That sounds movie accurate. Those sober stormtroopers couldn't handle them.
Yeah, it's real difficult. And then I did the dogfighting stuff, and the dogfighting stuff feels like a lot like Crimson Skies, and made me wish that we had Crimson Skies.
The dogfighting stuff needs work, in my opinion. But my problem with Battlefront is I love Star Wars, I enjoy Battlefront, but I'm not going to really love Battlefront until my friends start playing Battlefront.
Yeah, oh, definitely. Yeah, because like Edgar and Philip, you know, Edgar is buying the game next week. I was like, I don't really feel like playing right now with a bunch of people and socializing. I just want to play Fallout.
Right.
Oh like, my gosh, this game is signposting everywhere you need to go.
Yeah, it is literally giving me trails to follow. Here's the thing about that is, like, I don't like Titanfall. I don't really enjoy that game. But I played a ton of Titanfall because it was fun to play with my friends. And so, like, Battlefront is a game and a franchise that I'm interested in more. I can't imagine how much more fun I'm going to have playing it.
Yeah,
with my
the
friends.
Thing is the same thing with me in Destiny. My friends stopped playing Destiny. I'm not at a high enough level to play. Like, my best friend, Josh, is who I played a lot of Destiny with. And he stopped playing it. And I'm not able to compete at a level, or not even just compete, but I'm not able to play at the level that people on my PlayStation friends list are on, because I'm a level 40 by name or by gear or by name only. Like, I still have really crappy gear, so I just don't feel like putting the time into that when I could play something like Fallout or Darksiders 2, which I am excited to play. I bought that game with my own money, and we're streaming it tomorrow. I'm really looking forward to playing that on my new console. I'm also really looking forward to playing Tomb Raider. I don't have a reason to go back to Destiny, and if I get left behind, I get left behind. At this point, Destiny is a totally different game and requires way more of me than I am willing to give.
I think the important thing to remember is, even though it's not an MMO, it is totally an MMO, and the only way to play MMOs as an adult is to decide when the game is over for you.
Yeah, and I think the game is over for me. I don't need to play more of it.
Right, you got to set your goal and say this is when the game's over, because you just, as an adult, you don't really have the free time to keep playing that game forever.
It's like, do I play Destiny or do I play something else? The answer is really easy.
Right, if you are the kind of person that can play one game forever and never need another game, great. But I'm not.
For our jobs, we can't do that.
Right, we can't even play the games that we want to. Like, now that our Fallout coverage is wrapping up, there's nothing for me to. I don't have a reason to play Fallout over, like, getting my stuff done or doing the other coverage I need to do, which is like a huge shame. I'm like, it was great to experience it for a while, but I'm not going to get through the story unless I find time on my weekend. But my weekends are really busy now because we try and socialize with our family and stuff.
Yeah, Duke brings up a really good point. It says, after the last DLC for Destiny made all the grinding for gear meaningless, I gave up. Yeah, because I don't have anywhere near the amount of gear that other people did. But I had one exotic, and I had some. I didn't have. I think I might have had one legendary, and I had a few exotics. But the rest of my stuff was it was gear I was happy with for what I was playing. But then when I got Taken King, all of a sudden I was looking at common gear that was better than my exotics or my one exotic and my legendary stuff. That I was like, really? I don't. It didn't make any sense for me to unequip my high level gear and stuff that was really rare for things that you just pick up on the ground.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, I'm done. I'm done.
That's what gear-based multiplayer games are like, though. You know, you got to keep upping the gear.
It feels like it just takes everything that you've done and says, screw it. I'm not at that point. I haven't played enough games like that before to be okay with that. So I'm done. I'm done.
I'm a tank now.
Oh. Okay.
I'm a little tank. I guess I could have been one of the flying
Jones.
Jones.
A little teapot?
Yeah, I'm a little teapot tank. Loving it. Loving it. I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my muzzle. Here is my Gatling gun.
Do you remember the PlayStation 1 game Tiny Tank?
No.
I remember.
There were a lot of really, really interesting game ideas back then. Though.
Yeah.
Like PlayStation 1 is.
Yeah, they were throwing everything at the wall just because they had a new platform and they were trying to.
Right, and they were trying to figure out how does gaming in 3 dimensions work. So there was so much cool experimentation in that era.
Yeah. Remember Buck Bumble?
Yeah.
Was
actually.
that game any good?
I don't know. I didn't play it. I'm just aware of it. It was one of those things I saw in the gaming magazines. Because that's how it was. I play so many more games now than I did as a kid. So most of my familiarity with games of those eras is stuff I'd read in like Nintendo Power or whatever.
Yeah, or I'd see commercials for it during wrestling. So I remember seeing commercials all the time for Buck Bumble and Tiny Tank during Monday Night Raw on USA.
I always feel like I came from a different version of America than wrestling fans did.
Well, I mean,
like I don't mean to say every way I want to explain this feels offensive.
No, it's fine. Because I don't understand why adults are watching wrestling again. Like my Twitter feed on Monday nights, it's obscene. People are watching wrestling. It's like, really? Okay. I missed the memo when watching wrestling was cool again. I stopped my freshman year in high school.
See, in high school, I knew people that were super into it and would still argue that it was 100% real and not at all entertainment.
Dumb. They were dumb.
I mean.
Did you go to a school for not smart kids, Sean?
Well, I did go to a public school.
A lot.
It was a public school in California. Oh.
I don't know what that means, Sean. My only exposure to public schools in California is Tony Hawk's Pro Skater.
No, well, you know, about as people went to class about as much as those skaters did. I don't know. When I was in high school, the ratings for our schools, like nationally, were not great.
All right, my question: did you guys have lockers that were outdoors?
Only at one school. Otherwise, we didn't have lockers.
Okay, sure.
Like one school I went to had lockers. The other one took them out my freshman year. But yeah, why is outdoors significant?
Well, because that's my that's my biggest takeaway from the Tony Hawk Pro Skater School 2 level was, what? There are lockers outside? And like that was the thing too. My first time I was ever in California, I was walking around in Hermosa Beach with some friends who lived there, and it was strange for me to see a body shop, like an auto collision shop, where they worked outside all the time. Because they didn't have to worry about, they had it all fenced off and everything, but it was essentially open air body shops. I was like, this is really strange.
Oh yeah, everything's open air.
Yeah, because it's nice, like 300 days of the year, if not more.
The schools are like that too. Like the idea, when I first started in TV, I always wondered why everyone's schools were indoors. It's because they took place in not California.
Yeah. Okay, so Yaddle says he gets it. He understands why the whole wrestling.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Is he going to explain?
Duke says he went to a public school too. His whole school is outdoors. He's never seen an indoor school.
Yeah, the only indoor school I saw is Valley Christian, the private school that built, they built an indoor school because they thought it would be cute if their school was the exact same size and dimensions as as Noah's Ark, as described in the Bible.
What?
Yeah, they figured out
Catholic. So I mean, but that seems extreme.
dimensions of the Ark. I only found that out like 2 days ago. I didn't know that was the thing they did either.
Okay, Milkmaid says, "Whoa, Sean, you know of Valley Christian? Where are you from?"
Oh, Milkmaid is around here? I live in San Jose, dude. Valley Christian High School. In fact, I graduated from Branham High School, which was the Valley Christian campus, up until my sophomore year.
Okay. Milkmaid says his cousin went to Valley Christian.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I have friends. My wife went to Valley Christian until they changed campuses, and then...
Oh, Milkmaid's in the Bay now. You guys could hang out.
In the Bay now?
Yaddle and Milkmaid could go and hang out tonight.
Yes, you guys should.
Yeah, Yaddle's in Oakland, if I remember correctly.
I didn't know he grew up around here. Yeah, this is my home, man. I live over by Willow Glen in San Jose. So if you know where that is, you know where I am. My wife works at well, I shouldn't say, but she works at a
let's
she works at a local bookstore.
There you go. Okay, sorry. Milkmaid is from the Bay Area, but he lives in San Diego now. Yeah,
I have a bunch of friends that moved to San Diego too. I mentioned my friend Matt a couple times on this show, and he I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing right now. And
it looks cool what you're doing, but it looks like you don't have a lot of options or choices.
Do I have a ping? What is this? Why is there a ping in single player?
What?
I just pulled up the scoreboard. I have 68 kills, by the way. And in the far right side, there's a ping, and it's only like 10 or 20. But why is there a ping in single player? That doesn't make any sense.
Always online, Sean. Always online.
Always online. Okay, F. There's a button to get out of here.
Milkmaid says that San Diego's NorCal transplant city.
Yeah, sort of. My buddy's a cop down there, though, and it's an interesting town. I did a ride along with him, and it's, you know, it's not the town, actually. It's just I didn't realize what a police officer's job was really like until I went on a ride around with him. You should do it. It's really interesting.
Okay, Sean, before we get into that, I need to ask you, what's with all the discoloration and the weird artifacts and stuff going on before you respawn?
I think it's because you're a robot or something. Or, like, you've got, like, chips. Oh, it's actually kind of... Oddly, it's explaining that right now, actually. Like, I just got she's having... Flashbacks, yeah, because these are the same robots that ripped her arms and legs off.
Oh, lovely. Just keep opening that wound. It's not even a wound. That's a...
Well, it's kind of cool that the character you are is getting has like a psychosis that you have to deal with.
Let's see how well that's handled, though.
Milkmaid, it was not in the SUV squad car. My ride along was before they converted to all the SUV squad cars. But yeah, he's from Pleasanton. That's not too close around here either.
Okay. I want to say, because we're
about at the half, huh?
Yeah. So I want to say thank you to everybody that's tuning in. Our regulars, as always, we have Milkmaid, we have Duke, we have Yaddle, we have Smith is in here. Also, I think I saw, who did I see here? I saw Magus in here earlier. And Bushy is here as well. So thanks everybody for our regulars for showing up. But if you're brand new, and if you haven't talked and you're just lurking in the background, if you like what we're doing, hit the follow button. It's right underneath the right-hand side of the player window, and it lets us know that you like what we're doing. And it lets us know... Wait, I think I had that backwards, Sean. Anyways, it lets us know that you like what we're doing, and it lets you know whenever we go live, wherever we go live, whenever we go live, forever. So it's a two-way street. We've got some cool stuff coming up for December. We have some cool things coming up Tuesday. We switched things up today. So
this is what we were planning to do. That's true.
Yeah, we were. Magus, I'm still here, and more like thank you, you silly biatches. Okay. All right. So today we were originally going to stream Divinity: Original Sin, but Sean and I on PlayStation 4. But Sean and I were playing it earlier this afternoon, and we were like, it's turn-based combat. This isn't going to stream really well, and neither one of us were really into it. And we said, well, because of the tragedy in Paris last week, we pushed Call of Duty.
Right. The tragedy happened literally. The news came out like 5 minutes before we were going to do the stream.
Yeah. So that's why we're streaming it today instead. Tomorrow we're doing a personal favorite of mine, and I haven't even installed the game yet, so I have no idea how the port went or anything. But we're playing Darksiders 2 Definitive Edition.
Definitive?
No, there's no F in it. It's Definitive. Definitive.
Definitive?
Definitive. Yeah.
So it's just someone with a really weird lisp.
Yeah. Yeah, we're playing that. It runs at 1080p 60 on PlayStation 4, and I bought it on Amazon this week. I think it's like $25 or $30.
Oh man, so sorry. This is the first time I've looked at my player character after she got robot arms. They gave her like buff, manly robot arms. Like she's this, small-framed girl But her robot arms are like the strong arm model, right? So she's got like these.
Wait, look at her arms compared to the lady that's on screen with you right now.
Right. Like that. Like they said like, all right, which ones do you want? She's like the ones that punch the best. That was basically what happened. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. It just kind of distracted me. It's just like that's fine. You want to have big buff arms, you know? You have the power to do that. That's awesome. But
yeah, so we're gonna do that. We've got some cool stuff lined up for December. Next Tuesday, actually, we have a bunch of Nintendo stuff we're gonna play. We have Mario Tennis and what's it, Amiibo Festival. I shipped that out to Sean yesterday.
Yeah, so we're gonna be checking out that, and if they arrive on time, which they ought to.
They should, yeah. I mean, they should arrive tomorrow. So.
All right, so it's about the top of the hour. So we've done an hour single player. We don't want to, and I just failed the mission because of whatever. So I'm gonna drop out, and we're gonna go to multiplayer. And you guys can see how terrible I am at that.
Yeah, let's switch over to multiplayer.
Yeah, I'm really sad though, Tim, that because we didn't decide because we were trying Divinity out and we decided it wouldn't stream very well because it's a turn-based game.
It's turn-based and just I mean,
it could be really good. I mean, as soon as I heard it was turn-based, I was almost a little more into it because I'm like, oh, it's more like the original Fallout. That's cool.
I mean, if you want, we can do some co-op of that this weekend or something.
Yeah, I mean, well, if I have time, but yeah, because I'm going to a comic convention. Of course, but yeah, so I wanted to check that out, but. We didn't think that would stream very well.
Oh, I like that she's smoking a gigantic cigarette.
It's enormous, isn't it?
That is awesome. That is super cool. She's like, yeah, deal with it. This is my stogie. It's like, all right, I'm into that.
This is the character I have for multiplayer. I don't think I did it on purpose, and I don't know how to change him. But he had like these weird. I don't know what's going on.
Is this somebody that I'm seeing on screen right now?
Yeah, he's someone.
He's got a like a brush cut and a goatee, and he looks constipated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I thought you could use your one character across both.
No HUD and limited health. Let's do that. I don't know how to do that.
What are the specialists?
Well,
we should do zombies mode too.
Oh, we'll try zombies in a bit. I just jumped into hardcore.
Let's do 2 rounds of this and then spend the rest of the time in zombies.
Zombies. Everyone likes zombies. I never liked zombies.
Oh, I mean, it's the draw of Black Ops, really.
I know. I don't know what any of these modes are, so let's get this. Oh, it's a heavy weapons dude. I didn't mean to do that.
All right. Yodel says the definitive edition of Darksiders 2 is so much better than the original release. I mean, the regular edition costs like $10 now. But yeah, the definitive. I'm gonna go grab the box really quick. So you entertain yourself for about 30 seconds.
What? I don't want to entertain myself. I'm not good at anything. Okay. Change to the next class. Call of Duty multiplayer. So you're about to see. I mean, I got 1 kill, so it's not terrible. But you're about to see that Sean is not good at these games. But it's cool that there's no HUD. Kind of. Actually, I've never done the hardcore mode before. I'm a little impressed that there's no HUD.
Are you still complaining about something, Sean?
No, I'm saying it's cool that there's no HUD. I've never done that before. Like, there's not even an aiming reticle.
I like that.
Yeah, you actually have to kind of know what you're doing. It's neat.
Right, but so this is something I wanted to bring up. So I wrote a thing.
Oh shoot!
Hold on.
I just realized I had fraps going this whole time.
Yeah. Milkmaid was like, "Oh, hey, he's running fraps."
Yeah,
nice.
I just turned it off, so I didn't realize I had that on. Ah.
Milkmaid enjoyed it.
Yeah, well, you know, if you do the PC thing, it's something you do. He's like, how am I running this game? A good way to find out is fraps.
Yeah. So that weapon model is really cool. How it's not just like a magazine; it's like a disc you insert it.
It's like a disc. It's like a disc shotgun thing.
That's really cool.
Yeah,
like, at least, I mean,
it's creative. Oh,
it's creative. Like it's very much Call of Duty and something that I'll never play. But I can appreciate the neat little flourishes that Treyarch took here. So, we were talking about the HUDless aspect, right? Not every game is designed to run without a HUD. Because it's easier for a game developer to throw a HUD system in or a call out on the HUD than it is to actually design a level in a way that would require you to pay attention to the level design to navigate it. But that takes a lot more work and a lot more time. So if you look at something like Metro 2033 or Peter Jackson's King Kong, those games were designed to be HUD minimal. It's not just as simple as saying, okay, all right, you figure out where you need to go. We're gonna turn off the compass and have at it. Like,
there was a guy that turned off the HUD in Fallout because of that, and he's been playing Fallout 4 without a HUD. So which is important because that means you don't have the waypoints, right?
Right.
So he's actually saying like, okay, I know I need to find a clinic here. How do I find out it's a clinic? Well, I look around all the rooms in this building that I think is the right area, and I look for the one that has a medical stuff in it.
Right.
And it's really cool, except
Right.
for I don't have the patience for that.
Right. Well, some games are designed for it. Though. I know Kirk Hamilton from Kotaku is very, very, very much into playing games without the compass and the mini-map and stuff.
Okay,
on.
Tim, here's what I mean. You're about to see it. There's this swimming pool here. I jump at it. I should be able to get over the rail, but I can't.
Yeah.
It's a design element I should be able to get onto, and I can't.
Yeah,
and
seriously. That'd be a good waypoint for a vantage point for snipers.
And why is this here? Why not just make it taller so I can't get up on it? Maybe I can actually see if I can here. No, I can't. See, even jumping on the car, I can't do it. So what's the point? What is the point of this? Why design the level with the T's?
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm upset. Anyway, go on.
But yeah, not every game you can't just pull the HUD away and say, "All right, have at it." It's not a thing. And there's a YouTuber. His name is Mark Brown, and I dropped a link in chat earlier. But he examines the idea of playing a game without a HUD, especially Fallout 4. He said he's played about 10 hours of Fallout 4, and he's trying to play it in a way with all of the HUD and everything turned out, see if he can make his way around the world.
Oh, this is the guy I was talking about, it probably.
Yeah, because Witcher 3, he couldn't do it. Because Witcher 3 is very much breadcrumb trail.
Yeah.
And if you don't, you can't do quests without following the breadcrumb trail. Otherwise, it's just impossible. But some games actually do it well, and I'm going to drop another link in. This is something I wrote for Ars Technica. This is from a few years ago, before I even started in Engadget, examining the idea of just a HUD-less game. So, where is it? Right here. Okay. Milkmaid says, best day ever. My drone just arrived from UPS. This stream is happening, and NFL football is tonight. Christmas early. Well, we're glad that we are able to be part of your excellent evening, Milkmaid. We enjoy having you here, and it's nice to see all of the regulars here, honestly, because we are doing this for you guys. You guys keep coming back, and it's fantastic, and we like seeing you guys in chat every time.
Wow, that guy just shot the crap out of me.
I do have a question, though. We have the Game Awards coming up, and we've been kicking around the idea of hosting the stream for the Game Awards and having myself, Sean, and Jess, and possibly our coworker Joseph, or our manager Joseph, on the stream with us while we snork away and we watch it all together, because we're gonna have to be watching the stream anyway for work.
Right.
But is that something that you guys would be into? Would you tune in and watch the Game Awards with us? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, that's a good question. So I think that's a really fun idea. It's like something that feel like we would, if we were local, we would want to do anyway.
Yeah.
Like just hang out. See, here's another invisible wall above these tires. What is the point?
I don't know.
Invisible walls are the worst. Game designers, if you have to use an invisible wall, go back to 1996. All right, you're better than that. I believe in you.
All right, Milkmaid says he'd be interested in us doing the Game Awards. Okay. So, well, people figure that stuff out. Magus says he'd be into it if he was available. So I'm looking at Darksiders. I'm looking at the Blu-ray case right now. It says the ultimate dark. I'm going to read this in the most dramatic voice possible. Are you ready, Sean?
Yes.
And I'm going to treat this with the fact that anything in all caps means I'm shouting. So be ready. The ultimate Darksiders 2 experience. All DLC included. A total playtime of more than 30 hours. 1080p native resolution, reworked and tuned game balancing and loot distribution. And oh my gosh, listen, these aren't all caps, but these are capitalized words that shouldn't be capitalized. Improved graphic render engine is capitalized. For even higher visual quality lighting and shadows. Improved and reworked level, character, environment graphics. Death lives.
That's like reading a comic book, and comic books bold random words, and I never know why.
I never understood why that was.
And like, it doesn't bother me because I'm used to. But if you ever like emphasize those words, you sound like a madman.
Yeah, I never understood that in comic books at all, or even just the Sunday comics. Why certain words were emphasized over others?
Yeah, I don't know. Let's go.
Is it because they're more exciting looking that way? I don't know. But yeah, this packs in all of the DLC. So the Maker armor set, the Abyssal Forge, the Demon Lord Belial. Fun fact, Belial was also the name of the creature in Basket Case, a really horrible, like a D-ranked horror movie that's just bad. So the Demon Lord Belial, Death Rides, Angel of Death, Kerry King shout out there, Deadly Despair, Shadow of Death, Mortis Pack, Ruzanov's Axe, Vander Schmash, SCHMASH.
What are you even reading off? I'm lost now. I forgot.
I'm reading off the back of Darksiders 2, man.
What part are you reading off? Like, is this like the soundtrack?
No, this is what it contains.
Oh, okay. I got lost. Like at one point, it seemed like you were just typing nonsense.
Okay, so Vander Schmash Hammer, Fletcher's Crow Hammer, Mace Maximus, and Arguel's Tomb. So yeah, I mean it's a big value pack, but it's a great game otherwise. Also, the soundtrack and art style are incredible. The soundtrack especially is just amazing.
So I think what we're seeing right now is indicative of how many people are playing Fallout instead of this, because I went into a kill confirmed match and it can't find any other players.
Oh wow.
Yeah, let's see what other matches we can't find players for. Let's see. Capture the flag. No players.
Yodel. Okay, Milkmaid said part of the draw of this for him is that it feels like he's hanging out with us, which basically you are hanging out with us via the internet. Duke says that, oh, they're talking about fantasy football, and I don't know what any of that means.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's sons of
y'all are nerds.
Footballs.
Yodel says that Basket Case is a fantastic B movie. It's a heartwarming story about two brothers. That is one way of putting it, Yodel.
Basket Case is a Green Day album?
Yeah, there's also a...
We really can't... It's a team deathmatch or free-for-all is the only thing I can find game modes for it.
Wait. Duke says that they're all playing Battlefront. It was released to the world today. I thought the game came out on Tuesday.
Yeah, I thought it did too.
So this is the thing, is when I was a kid... Well, not a kid, but when I was growing up and I was listening to One Up Yours and other video game podcasts, like around 2007, 2008, I was always kind of appalled that they don't know when video games come out. How do they not know that? I know when all these video games are coming out, and the reason why they don't know is because the reason why we don't know when video games come out now. We get them weeks in advance. We have no idea.
Not always weeks in advance. Sometimes.
Well, not always.
But
for the most part, all right, so we get a game. A game has a different release date. So we have a game, then there is the day, then we can start talking about it or streaming it.
Right, there's like 4 dates for us to keep track of.
Yeah, so there's the day we get it, the day we can talk about it, and then the day it actually releases. It's impossible to keep track of. That's how this happens.
Right, like I thought that maybe that's the day we could talk about it. I swore that was the day it actually came out.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different markets.
Yeah, that's what Duke says. Duke says that U.S. release was Tuesday, world release is the 19th.
Okay, that makes more sense. To the world, yeah.
Yeah. Are we playing zombies yet?
No.
Oh.
We're gonna do more than 5 minutes of multiplayer here. People got to see how bad I am at this game.
Well, I like the design a little bit of the level.
Oh yeah, I think this is based on a level that was in the previous Black Ops level because it looks really familiar.
I'm just really kind of surprised that Call of Duty just hasn't totally embraced. Said here, you can pay $60 a year for access to multiplayer. Because that's what you're doing. That's what people are doing now.
Like, yeah, as a subscription service instead. Yeah. I think didn't Quake Live kind of try that a little bit?
I don't know. There's also Call of Duty Online, which is a free-to-play game and is made for developing markets.
Yeah, that's not.
Also
that's
Halo Online.
That's different. That's not even for around here. Yeah.
No.
The question is it any good?
I don't think so. It's very much not, super high graphics. It's just the gameplay that they're after, and it delivers Call of Duty gameplay. So,
yeah.
Whatever. So this is a fun thing we were talking about. This is an interesting way of looking at how games are marketed now. So, and I look at this way because I'm a PR/marketing student. I'm almost done, and just seeing stuff now. Before we started broadcasting today, there was a pre-roll ad for Halo 5. And all it did was showed multiplayer, and the quotes that they used from reviews were all about the multiplayer. and then they showed the scores. There was like a frame full of 9s, and all it was just people talking about multiplayer. I was like, well, that's one way to kind of present this game to everybody. Just completely ignore and make people not even think about the campaign whatsoever because it's the weakest aspect of this game. And focus on the strength for the trailers and whatnot. It makes sense from that standpoint, but it almost feels a little deceptive.
Yeah, marketing is dirty business.
Yep.
I mean, I understand it. I don't really fault anyone for marketing, but it's kind of like you do have to make things. I don't know. It's not always honest. Did I get a positive score? No, I got 2 kills. I thought I had more than that.
I was talking to Philip last night, our former copy editor. And I asked him how he was enjoying Battlefront. He goes, well, so far my kill to death ratio is 0.95. So I'm giving almost as good as I'm getting.
I'm doing, in Battlefront, I am surprisingly either even or I average 2 ahead, which is better than I do in games like this or Battlefield, because I guess it's a little more casual. Like, I was actually getting a positive KD using the Steam controller.
Wow.
And that's kind of shocked me, because the Steam controller has got a learning curve, and I brag a lot about how good I am with it, but I'm not as good as some of the guys on YouTube, you know, that are actually, like, dominating matches with that thing. Because they're actually good at video games. Most of the times I die isn't the controller, it's because I make bad choices.
Hey, Sean.
What?
Do you remember when it used to be like 4 players was maximum team size always?
Yeah.
And now like we're seeing weird team sizes. So this is 3-on-3. Well, Destiny was always a 3-person squad. It was this weird thing. It's like, oh, there are 4 controller parts on a game console, so we have to have 4 players. And now it's like everybody said, all right, we're doing multiplayer online. Let's just do 3.
Let's see. What can I buy here?
You should buy the world from a man who's going to sell it to you.
I don't know how I would get that, Tim.
Well, first off, you would talk to David Bowie.
Sometimes I don't like you.
Come on, that's an old song reference too, Sean. You should not be. You should not hate that.
It's not that it's not that it's old that makes me like it. It's that you needed to make it. You know, Timon, Mr. Timon.
Duke says that his kill to death ratio is around 1.8.
Wow, that's pretty good.
It's bad. Bad.
I look at like the whenever I play these games, people that are getting like legitimately high scores.
Do these guys have swords? Is your guy carrying a power sword?
No, they're like these shock things that I don't know how to use. Apparently, you like stick them in the ground and stuff happens.
Oh, so they're like those things that you like. They're that. Did you ever dig up worms to go fishing with?
No, we don't have worms.
Really? There's no worms in California?
But there's nowhere that like I knew to dig where they were really. I mean, there's worms, yeah, but I never did that.
But no, there was these things where like you'd plug one in into an extension cord and you'd put it into the ground and you'd turn it on, and what it would do is put electrical signals into the ground and it would cause the worms to come up. This was made famous by the 1997 film Godzilla with Matthew Broderick.
Oh man, that movie. We're gonna need a big boat or bigger guns or something. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there were so many. Yeah, Roland Emmerich and Dean Devlin should have had their movie cameras taken away after that.
Yeah, it wasn't the best.
Yaddle says that there are worms in Oakland.
I never really dug up worms. We had some in our backyard when I was a kid, but I never dug up to go fishing. We got them from somewhere else.
Milkmaid says I have worms.
Oh, Milkmaid.
Actually, I got checked earlier this year for all kinds of things. I'm 100% foreign body free.
That's nice. Wow, that guy's worse than me. I can't believe I shot him. Like that was just a big.
That dude has really cool like clan tags and stuff though, and his gun is like rainbow colored.
That was like a big fest of just me and him missing each other, and I got luckier.
It was like watching two 12-year-olds try and kiss.
Yes. See, I like that running on wall stuff that I just did though. That was fun.
You can thank Titanfall for that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what I thought when I played Advanced Warfare. What the Advanced Warfare was missing is better movement. Unfortunately, the level design is still not designed for that better movement. But
yeah,
you know, whatever. Yeah, there's a lot. That's the rainbow gun. That's another thing. Call of Duty, you have really cool clan tags and gun customizations. In fact, that's one of the things I'm most sad about. Is I always, whenever I play Call of Duty or Battlefield, I draw. See, there's another thing I couldn't get on top of. I draw my custom tag to be like a really happy Mickey Mouse, and it's because it's so robust. You can totally do that. You can make it look as exactly like it's supposed to, and it makes me happy that I can do that. Oh gosh!
So, Magus, you know, when we're talking about the masterpiece that was Godzilla. I will say, though, that movie did an excellent job. We were talking about marketing. That movie had a series of amazing teaser trailers.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing teaser trailers. They were so good. And then that movie was bad. So, yeah, Magus says, that movie, ugh. Duke says, the best part of that movie was the Rage Against the Machine song. I will agree with you there. I also like the remix of Green Day's Brain Stew on the soundtrack for that as well. I actually owned that soundtrack. I kind of like Come to Me, the weird Jimmy Page Puff Daddy mashup too. I don't know why I like that because I had bad taste probably when I was in 8th grade. But Yaddle says that the Baby Godzillas were a fantastic piece of bad CG comedy. and that the best part of that Godzilla was Jean Reno from The Professional.
I'm trying to figure out the control right now. There's a button I keep seeing people press that's giving them like a... Oh, no, I just fell off a cliff. Giving them a dash mode, and I don't know how to activate it.
Sean, have you seen the movie Cloverfield?
Nope.
Okay. Do you hate J.J. Abrams? Is that why?
J.J. Abrams did Cloverfield?
Yeah.
Huh.
That's why it was so hyped up and such a big deal, because that came out during peak Lost.
No, I'm not interested in Lost very much.
Okay. I'm not.
But I'm not. I don't really like found footage films very much. That's
no, that's fair. That's fair.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. It's a medium that has lots of interesting potentials and cool things you can do with it, but just they've never.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's. Yeah.
So they're fine. Just never appealed
I wanted
to me.
to see the new Paranormal Activity, but I didn't.
All right, I want to know what I'm doing here. Let's go
There's
to.
a ton of movies that came out this fall that I wanted to see, and I've ended up not seeing them. That makes me sad.
Back pedal, move right, crouch, prone, slide, unbound. Do I what? I can't slide? There's no slide command.
No sliding.
No slide. That's weird. Okay, so let's bind slide to
Right
T. No, not T or left mouse. I need left mouse to shoot. Did I just screw things up? Reset
Probably. Is there a tutorial that you skipped for rebinding the keys, Sean?
No, that's just called years of experience. And slide does not work. Oh, there it goes. Why would that not be bound by default? Why would you not want that as an option?
I don't know. I'm not a PC gamer.
This isn't a PC gamer. This is a PC developer thing.
I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you, Sean.
And I don't know what to tell me either. I'm upset for both of us. Ah!
Okay. Milkman says that Cloverfield was good until they showed the monster, which is ironic. See, my thing with Cloverfield is that I didn't have any problems with the monster. And usually, yeah, that's the big problem with horror movies or monster movies is that once you show off the creature, like it's not going to live up to everything you had in your brain because your brain is much better at creating things than the eye is.
I heard it looked like a giant skinned chicken.
I don't know. I liked it. What was kind of cool was the fiction behind it. Is that was an infant in that movie.
Oh, really? That's cool. That is kind of neat.
Yeah. So that's kind of neat. But I liked Cloverfield. I liked it. The ending was a little cheesy, where the creature kind of like eats the camera, which is a little But I thought it was kind of cool. So Duke,
that guy's in charge of Star Wars.
Yeah. I thought that like the tension and everything was really cool, and I really liked the new Godzilla. Aside from the fact that the guy who played Kick-Ass was the lead actor in that movie, and he cannot carry a movie to save his life.
I didn't see Kick-Ass. I read the comic.
I liked Kick-Ass. Kick-Ass is a great movie. It's beautiful too. It's got a huge, super wide color palette. It's really fun to watch.
Yeah, it looks. It's like I think it's just like I saw Super with the dude from The Office.
Okay.
And it's like it was also I think like Kick-Ass like it got to points where it was really violent and it's supposed to be comically violent, but I just don't like it.
Well, yeah, it's weird because you've got that little girl killing people.
Right.
That was
and I think maybe it's just I'm older and I'm picturing my life in such a way, but I just see that it's
vigilante superhero.
Well, no, like I might have a daughter. I don't want her to murder people.
But you are not Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, well, I see that though, and it affects me in a way that it wouldn't have 10 years ago. Like it's not funny to me. It's like, oh, that's not okay. I'm an old man. I'm stuffy. Ban books.
Milkman says, I remember when everyone thought Super 8 was a Cloverfield sequel. Did you see Super 8, Sean?
Mm-mm.
It was okay. I saw it in the theater, and this is not a reflection on the quality of the movie because I've fallen asleep in the theater on plenty of movies, but I fell asleep in the theater and it's like, I fell asleep. Oh, so for evidence that I fell asleep during a midnight screening of Big Lebowski once.
And you really like Big Lebowski, so.
Yeah, and so it's not me falling asleep is just a matter of me being really comfortable or warm. That's it. I fell asleep during Super 8, and I was like, it's okay. And I liked how it felt like an 80s Spielberg flick, but like I didn't like the creature design, and I didn't like the mystery of the movie at all. It didn't do anything for me, so I don't know. I'm not a huge Abrams fan by default. I didn't watch Alias. I really don't. I've watched a few episodes of Lost, and I've never really gotten into it.
I mean, I think the only thing I've seen by him is his new Star Trek movies.
I like the Star Trek reboot a lot. I didn't like Into Darkness, but I like the first one a ton.
Everyone said this, and it needs to be said every time it comes up. Lots of fun movies, not good Star Trek movies. Good movie, bad Star Trek movie.
The only thing I liked about Into Darkness was the intro sequence and how gorgeous it was.
I mean, both of them. I mean, they're super fun movies. They're just not good Star Trek.
No.
Yeah.
Into Darkness was not a good movie.
Well, I mean, okay, Into Darkness was fun to watch, but its story was terrible. It was.
There were no There were no high stakes at all.
I said it was fun to watch. I didn't say it was engaging.
Right. But I mean, it was pretty much telegraphed that Captain Kirk was not going to die because the Tribble thing came back to life.
Yeah.
There's just so many things that just I didn't like that movie at all. And I was talking to my film critic buddy John Serba about that, and he's like, maybe it's because you're watching it at home. I said, dude, I have a 65-inch TV. He goes, yeah, I do too, but I saw it on IMAX and it was incredible. I was like, well, I'm not going to.
There's a different. Okay, there's a cultural hype to seeing something in a theater. That's why I want to see Star Wars in theater. I'm going to enjoy it more in the theater. You know, I enjoyed Episode 1 when I saw it in theater for the first time.
You know why I'm probably not going to enjoy Force Awakens in a theater? Because I'm going to be cramped into a theater and I'm 6'3".
Oh, see, that's why you need a theater like the one I have that has recliners.
Well, yeah, I saw Jurassic World in an amazing theater in downtown LA in June, and it was fantastic. It was a smaller theater size. There were fewer seats, but there was more room, and they had leather, plush, super nice seats.
Yeah,
that's
what our theater's like. It's the one across the street from the Google headquarters, and it's amazing. It's like I refuse to see a movie anywhere else now.
Yeah, because here in Grand Rapids, with a student discount, a movie is $9.50 for me. Without a student discount, it's like $10 or $11. It was $11 with a student discount in California. It's like that extra $1.50 was totally worth it because I was comfortable for 2.5 hours in a movie theater. That never happens.
Right, and that's the thing is like, and that's what theaters need to do to survive with the way things are these days. You offer that premium experience. You know what I want to see is I want to be able to go in to a theater, pay $40 for like my ticket, and have like this amazing movie experience and go home with the Blu-ray. That's what I want.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want that, and I that's what I want the experience to be. Because I still want to see it in theaters, and I want to see it on your amazing screen with your amazing sound, with nice, comfortable chairs, and the ability to buy overpriced beer. And I also want to take it home. I want it to be released the same day.
Well, I mean, Amazon has a thing where you can pre-order a movie on Blu-ray basically when you're walking out of a movie theater.
Right, like, but they reject
open up pre-orders opening weekend of the theater premieres. It's insane.
Right, but they reject that kind of option because like they're afraid if they give me that option to walk home with the movie after I see it in theaters, I'll never come back and see it a second time. Most people don't come back and see things a second or third time anyway. And if it's crazy good, like Star Wars, I'll probably see it a couple more times, even if I own the Blu-ray.
I mean, I saw Gone Girl in theaters 3 times. I really enjoyed that, and also I wanted to give David Fincher money because he doesn't come out with movies. He comes out with movies at a regular clip, but he's my favorite filmmaker, and I wanted to give him a bunch of money, so I saw the movie in theater 3 times.
Right, you wanted to do your part to increase, visibility on
that. If there's a creator of any kind of media that I like, I will spend more money to give that company more money because I appreciate them. So, all right,
I'm really digging hardcore mode here with no HUD and no map.
It's nice,
and like it's making me take in, like, I've started paying attention to where I am. I'm like in an abandoned aquarium amusement park, and I didn't realize that.
This is a really neat looking map.
This is a super cool map. I really like it. Like I just got killed in there, so I'm gonna get killed going in there again. But here's like the shark tank or something. It's like there would be sharks swimming around you or something. That guy keeps shooting me. He's like on my team. Oh wait, no, he's not on my team. I thought we were on a team match.
All right, I'm gonna go back into chat. Duke says, if you liked Quarantine, watch the original. It's called Wreck. He said he really liked Wreck 2. Wreck 3 Genesis is on Netflix. It's all subtitled, but it's awesome. It's an awesome movie with a sweet twist ending. Now, Duke, this is the thing. I've heard good things about Wreck a lot. Do I need to have started from the beginning to appreciate the one movie that's on Netflix? If you can answer that question for me, that'd be awesome. Duke says, at the twist, he literally jumped out of his seat and went, yeah! Yodel says that dress would have jammed the chainsaw so badly. These are all out of context. I have no idea what any of this means. And Milkmaid is talking about how with monster reveals, he says, even the suspense of just the unknown is greater than anything they can show. Sean Duke says that you want your daughter to be a badass, so you want her to see her killing people.
No, that's not what I want. I don't want her to be a badass. I want her to be a nerd.
Milkmaid says that Super 8 was supposed to be J.J. Abrams' E.T. I haven't seen the movie all the way through, so I couldn't tell you to one way or the other. It definitely felt like an 80s Spielberg flick. It had the feeling down right. Let's see here. Yaddle says at least one of the kids in Super 8 should have died. I agree with that. And Duke says he tries to never fall asleep during a movie because he doesn't want to watch it again.
So Sean Hollister, he's over at CNET now, a longtime friend of mine. He has this policy in movies that baffles me, which is that if he's seen a movie and he hasn't forgotten everything about it, he refuses to watch it again.
Oh.
He will not watch a movie again unless he absolutely, like, it's his absolute favorite movie. But if he's seen it in the last 10 years, he's like, oh, I saw that movie 10 years ago. I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie. He's like, I don't want to watch it. I've seen it already.
See, that's the thing. That's what I love about movies, though, is the more you watch them, especially if it's a well-made film,
you get more out of it each time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like when I was watching Gone Girl over the weekend, like I said, I saw it 3 times. 3 times in the theater when it was in the theater. I held off on buying the Blu-ray for a number of months because I was like, I saw the movie 3 times. But then when I was in Best Buy last weekend and I picked up the new Mastodon album, not new, but I mean like the most recent Mastodon album, and I was like, I haven't been to Best Buy in a while, and I was just walking through seeing what was what, and I picked up Gone Girl because it was $14, which is kind of nothing. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna go home and watch this. And I watched it. I watched it the first time through, and then I watched it immediately after I watched the commentary track because I love hearing David Fincher talk.
Commentary tracks are great.
Yeah, David Fincher is incredibly smart, and I love hearing him talk and about why he did the things he did. And so when I was watching it, I was seeing all kinds of little things. So there is some backlash against how Michael Bay does color grading with a teal and orange because it makes everything pop on the screen because they're the way the colors work together.
Yeah.
David Fincher does that a lot in Gone Girl, but it's super subtle in ways that you would never notice just on the first time through. So, for instance, in the background of one scene, there are some blue envelopes on a desk, and next to it is an orange envelope. They're on computer monitors in a couple of scenes. You can see one computer monitor has an orange background and one has a blue background, and then the way the shot is framed, you can see the corner of the orange one in the back just overshadowing the blue one up front. It's really subtle, and it's really, really, really clever.
Oh, see, that would have been another perfect moment. You just missed it. Where the game should allow me to go up here, but it won't let me do it. Sorry. Yeah, but color work like that can get really clever.
Yeah, it's just stuff like that. And so even the other subtle ways of filmmaking. So there's a trope in filmmaking. It's like the face framed in shadow, where if somebody's face is half shadow and half not shadow, it's used as a shorthand for saying, you don't know if you can trust this guy, what their intentions are. And it's used all over the place in Gone Girl on Ben Affleck's face, but it's done so subtly that it doesn't draw attention to itself. And you can see as there's a big plot reveal that I'm not going to spoil, but after the big plot point, you can see how he is no longer lit that way. So where his face is always fully lit every time.
I just got kicked.
Oh.
Server disconnected. Player's been kicked. I accidentally killed one of my players, and the game kicked me.
Oh.
We're gonna go do zombies.
Yep. So yeah. So the thing after the big plot reveal happens, other characters in the movie are lit that way. So where half of their face is obscured by shadow and half is fully lit, and Ben Affleck is always fully lit every time after that. It's a really subtle little thing, and I think it's just so cool how it's done. And that movie's just full of beautiful shots and well-constructed shots. When I first saw it, I thought, it doesn't look like a Fincher movie. And since Fincher has started doing stuff, since House of Cards, Fincher's movies have taken on a different look. He's in a different phase of his career. They used to all have a very, very, very distinct look, and they look differently. This now looks like a long episode of House of Cards.
I still haven't seen that show.
Watch the first season and then ditch after that.
Yeah, it sounds reasonable. I don't really have time for more seasons.
But yeah, so just seeing how the shots were constructed, it looks gorgeous. It looks incredible. The Gone Girl is a beautiful movie to watch. It's absolutely stunning.
I feel like, to go back to you talking about commentary tracks,
is that Ron Perlman?
I don't know. Looked like it, didn't it?
Yeah.
I feel like, but this is really atmospheric for the zombies mode.
It's supposed to be. It looks like Rapture.
Yeah, it's kind of. This guy is he like trying to Neil hump this character?
I don't know.
They're trying to look up her skirt.
Okay. Oh God.
Yeah, Call of Duty players, everyone.
Oh. Why don't they have her jump on the hood of the car and then do it?
I think she's not.
Oh, now
playing.
there's somebody laying. Oh, you creeps!
I told you.
Oh, these people are the worst.
Right. She's idle. That player.
Oh. All right. Anyways, yeah. So after that diatribe on Gone Girl.
But anyway, I was saying I feel like kind of like watching a commentary is one of the best things you can do as a filmmaker to learn. Like I learned so much about filmmaking when I was in school from watching the commentaries of my favorite movies.
Yeah, it's really interesting. Just especially considering that Fincher is super meticulous. He's known for he'll do like 90 takes on one scene. Absolutely, entirely. And with Social Network especially, the intro scene where it's Mark Zuckerberg and his girlfriend sitting in the bar while White Stripes' Ball and Biscuit plays in the background. They're sitting there, and Fincher had them do like something like 100 takes, and he still wasn't happy with any of the takes or the lines of the dialogue that were delivered, how they were delivered. So he spliced individual words together to create lines of dialogue from individual takes. It was insane. Like, his editor must just be a saint. Magus824, yes, I do watch the YouTube channel Every Frame of Painting. That guy is fantastic. There is a really good whole video about Fincher. There's a really good video about the Steven Spielberg one-shot, too. So let's see here.
This does not feel like a Call of Duty game anymore.
Well, it's not supposed to.
Like, it's impressive. Like, it almost feels like it's just a new game using the engine.
A different developer?
Yeah. I'm out of ammo, though, so I've got to use melee, which is weird.
Uh-oh. Well, it's because you're trying to shoot those people that were being creeps. Milkmaid asks if we're going big for Star Wars, Sean. He says he's driving up to LA to see it on a 70mm IMAX laser at Man's Chinese Theater. God, I would love to see a movie of Man's Chinese.
That would be a cool experience. But like, I think the last time we were in LA, we thought about it, but it's like, but we can watch movies at home.
Yeah, well, see, when I was in LA this year for E3, I got there a couple days early, and it's like, I want to go see Jurassic World at the ArcLight.
Yeah.
A historic, old school Hollywood theater, but wasn't able to make it because of traffic, because the Pride Parade was happening as well, going through West Hollywood, and it would have made traffic a nightmare trying to get to it. And sadly, I wasn't able to go see a movie at the ArcLight.
I don't care about seeing things on IMAX as much as I love technology and 4K. Like, it doesn't improve my experience as much as being comfortable does, which is why I'm going to that theater about being comfortable. And they all have pretty good sound. A lot of them are digital these days. Although I guess he's seen it on a projector since it was shot on film, which is kind of cool.
Well, the thing is, so that's what made me going to, I think it was like an AMC or a Lowe's theater that I saw Jurassic World on. It was comfortable. Like, it was a super comfortable experience. I have never been that comfortable in a movie theater as an adult. And that made all the difference in the world. Right.
It's really nice, like the one I go to, it's really nice to go into this theater, have an assigned seat, especially when you're seeing something on day one, like Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, because that way you don't have to get in there, and you don't have to wait in line.
You don't have to wait in line and then rush in and try and hope you get a good seat. You have an assigned seat. And you know what? If someone tries to squelch you on that, you know the theater's going to be like, look, man, he bought a ticket.
Yeah.
You know?
Milkmaid says, surprisingly, real 70mm IMAX are really scarce in California.
There is one. And it is really close to me. They don't show that many movies, and the theater is actually really uncomfortable because it's an original IMAX theater, which is... it's not like being shot on IMAX and it's designed for comfort. It's designed to have that whole immersive thing, and that's at the Tech Museum in San Jose.
Yeah, I have a 70mm IMAX theater here in Grand Rapids, which is kind of surprising.
It's really cool, though, because I don't know if all IMAX theaters do it, but this one does because it's at the Tech Museum. The projector is visible to you if you're not, like, from the outside of the theater as you wait to go in.
Oh, that's cool, and those projectors are huge.
Yeah, you can see it.
IMAX cameras are huge as well.
And there's a little exhibit next to it, and it shows the the size of the film used versus 35mm, and it explains it. It's really neat. Unfortunately, it's just not very comfortable because you're really close to the screen because they designed that place to show wrap around IMAX documentaries.
Oh,
that's what it's there for.
Duke says they have one 70mm IMAX in the state and it's on another island.
Oh, jeez.
Duke says that your daughter will be the opposite of what you want, Sean.
Yeah, she'll be a boy because we don't have daughters in my family. That's what I want. She's gonna be a boy and he's gonna be a little jerk. Yeah, there's very few girls in my family. 3 boys for me. My dad has, I think, 5 or 6 brothers and 1 sister, and they all had boys. So.
Milkmaid says, "Dang, you can watch a suspenseful movie that's still that much and still enjoy it. I liked Gone Girl a lot, but I think multiple viewings could water down the best parts. But see, that's the thing I already know what's coming, so I can look at other aspects of the movie and appreciate it more. Like that stuff with the lighting, I never noticed otherwise.
That's like Disneyland. I've been so many times that it's like the normal stuff isn't fun to me.
Yeah.
But like I see other things in it. I am like a beast now. This is weird, and I am not okay with this.
Answer of Duty is a new person in our Twitch chat saying, he popped in and says, "Just wanted to pop in and say that the answering the Call of Duty is already under control." Thanks.
Nice, thank you.
Wait, this is kind of like the Darkness, where you have like the tentacle arms and stuff.
Yeah.
What is happening, Sean?
You were like, it's over now. You get to be a monster for some reason.
All right.
Gosh, I don't know what this game is anymore, Tim.
No, me either. Well, I read the review. Digital Trends posted their review. It's by a guy named Phil Hornshaw. He lives actually in LA, and he's from Michigan originally, and I have some kind of distant ties to him based on Michigan. Like he went to the one journalism school here in Michigan, and a friend of mine went there as well. So like half-hearted relationship, whatever. But he said that the game felt like just an assembly of parts. Some things work better than others. So he said just it felt like a large chunk of parts as opposed to an actual game.
I mean, I don't know. The single player seemed fine. The multiplayer seemed. I guess I get what he means. But wow, am I like crippled? This is awesome.
That's an offensive term, Sean. Disabled.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna use the term that I know.
I mean, if I were to follow your logic, I would be pissing people off left and right.
Well, look, I mean, specifically, that's what it describes you as in Fallout when you break your leg. That's the word it uses.
Okay.
That's what I'm referring to. I'm not saying I'm disabled. I am saying I'm literally someone broke my legs.
Makes me feel so alive.
You didn't see the context, Tim.
Something Mimic says, "Crab walk." Also, hello, Something Mimic. It's been a while since I've seen you in chat. Thank you for popping in and thank you for piping up, actually.
Too easily offended.
Duke says that he has 2
gonna
brothers
mumble
and all of us
something
had
racist.
girls for our first kids.
You had 2 brothers. All right, I have a family legacy of about 30 males to 2 females. Okay.
Oh wow. Iron Spore says pineapples. I don't know, Sean. Did you see pineapples in here?
I didn't, but I'm not paying that much attention. What is going on? There's so many explosions.
I don't know what's going on, Sean.
See, I don't like zombie.
Are your teammates trying to look up the female player's dress again?
No, I'm on the ground. I don't like zombie mode very much though, because it feels like there's no. The zombies don't really feel like a threat when you bring them down. I don't feel like I bested something because the zombies like.
They're fodder.
They're fodder, right? Like if you like outsmarting a zombie isn't an impressive thing to do.
You know what's an impressive thing to do, Sean? In Fallout 4, you go into vats, and when you have a feral ghoul coming after you, you take out its legs,
and then you don't finish it off.
Incapacitates it. Yeah. Well, you can I mean, if they don't give out great gear anyways, and they don't give out a ton of XP.
You just leave it there writhing.
No, they don't. They just when if you go by, they start shaking their head and they start like at you. But other than that, they don't do anything. It's kind of nice.
That sounds kind of funny, actually.
Fantilizes them 100%. It's the best. Milkmaid says that fodder is such a fun word to say. Bantha poodoo is a very fun word to say.
Not poodoo. Fodder.
Actually,
I accidentally started single player. I didn't mean to do that.
Yodel says that there is a movie called The Crippled Avengers, and it is amazing.
It's okay. Calm down.
Something Mimic says he wishes that there was a mode in Call of Duty Black Ops 3 that was both player versus player with zombies. So that would kind of be like Halo 5's Warzone mode.
Like a lot of AI fighters. It sounds almost like Titanfall.
Yeah, it does a little bit. Oh gosh, we are back.
Yeah, I'm getting out. I'm exiting. Save and quit. And also, apparently I didn't save after all those missions we played, so I'm only like 10 minutes into the game now.
God.
Oh, I don't care. I'm not going to play it.
Autosave?
It didn't autosave properly. I don't know. It was showing me something I'd already seen. But the thing is, I'm probably never going to play story mode of this game. I might play multiplayer, but...
Yaddle says taking out the legs is a classic pro wrestling move. Hit the chop block, then go for the figure four. I know what everything in that last message means, Sean.
I don't know what any of it means. I am genuinely confused by everything that was just said in chat just now.
Something Mimic says you can have zombies show up in Call of Duty multiplayer.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go out. Kill confirmed isn't working because there's not enough people playing this game.
Everybody's playing Fallout and
Battlefront. You know, and I don't blame them because I would rather play both those games. You know, it's just I'm not. Call of Duty's fine.
Gun to your head. Which game are you going to play? If you can only choose one.
How long do I have to live? Is the gun going to go off anyway?
What? I mean, if you have to make one choice, which would you play? Fallout or
probably Fallout.
Battlefront? Okay.
But like, if they were going to be like, you know. Well, I don't know. Yeah, probably Fallout either way. Even if they're going to pull the trigger, you can play for 5 minutes. And we're going to kill you because then at least I can listen to some music.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Oh man, the ambient soundtrack in Fallout 4 is super good.
Yeah, but I mean,
are you playing with classical music with the radio or with the ambient?
Oh, it depends on what I'm doing. Like if I'm just wandering around the wasteland, I'll often put on the radio, and sometimes I'll put on classic music. I love exploring the radio because a lot of times there's fun stuff in it. You know, and I love a lot of that old music. You know,
yeah. The reason why I've switched from the radio is just there weren't a lot of songs I felt, and also the stuff that the DJ was saying, as funny as it started repeating a lot. And I was like, I don't want to have this worn out for me, so I'm going to switch to ambient music. The ambient music is incredible.
It kind of does that on purpose for the DJ because there's a mission that you can do to expand his.
I went up to him in Diamond City and like all he was like
you don't get the mission from him. You go into the poor people bar, and the bartender gives you the mission.
Oh, okay. All right, then I'm going to go do that then.
Yeah.
Because I really like him. I think he's a great parody of public radio hosts.
Right.
He's just really awkward and really uncomfortable, and I'm really into it. Like, he's like, I don't want to be doing this, but I'm doing it because I'm the only one who can.
Well, he likes it, apparently, but he has no self-confidence, you know. And the whole point of that mission is to build his self-confidence.
Ah.
How come I'm not finding any enemies here? Am I just really bad at video games?
Yeah, you had an easier time finding enemies. You had an easier time finding enemies when you were playing in hardcore mode.
Yeah, I was just having a hard time finding.
Milkmaid says that his dad used to do the cross-faced chicken wing on him and his brother when they were younger.
What does that mean?
Bob Backlund, wow.
I don't know what any of this means. Wow. You guys are all talking foreign to me.
Milkmaid says that they wrestled a lot. It was fun. Oh, wow. Gustav Holtz Mars. Crossface chicken wing is great because you have that loose arm flopping around. That makes a submission move look great.
Is this a wrestling thing?
Yeah. Duke says my dad was a biker, so never had that type of fun. Something Mimic says DJ Travis becomes less awkward after you do that mission.
Yeah, and I'm curious to do that mission, but I can't find a way to do that mission without killing anyone.
Oh, you're going for a no-kill run-through?
Well, I just without killing anyone who deserves it. It starts with a bar fight, you know, and I can't get through the bar fight sequence without killing someone, and then it moves on to the next thing, which sounds pretty hilarious. But like the idea of that mission for me wasn't to kill someone. You know.
Magus is leaving for the night. Have a good night. We're gonna be on for about 15 more minutes, so if you can make it back in time, that's awesome. If you can't, we understand. Let's see here. Duke says his favorite move back in the day was the abdominal stretch. I liked insecurity.
That doesn't even sound like a wrestling move. That just sounds like, you know, exercise.
Milkman said my brother's favorite was the sleeper hold, and he would just choke me. I hated it. And Iron Sports says the Tombstone pile driver. I was a Stone Cold fan way back in the day, so it was Stone Cold and Mankind were my favorites.
See, I didn't like Stone Cold because I didn't watch wrestling, and the people I knew at school who liked Stone Cold were all jerks.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Yeah.
So his move was called the Stunner, like the Stone Cold Stunner, and Mankind had the Mandible Claw. When he would pull a dirty sock out of his sweatpants that was hanging in the waistband of his sweatpants. It had a face drawn on it. And so basically the part where you would put your hand was somewhere else, deep inside his pants. And then he would go and, stick 2 fingers, his middle finger and his, whatever that other finger is called that's useless, that can't do anything.
The ring finger?
The what?
The ring finger?
Oh, yeah, the ring finger. I'm single, obviously. So he would stick his middle finger and his ring finger. That would go underneath the tongue, and then the thumb would come underneath the jaw, and it would completely paralyze you. And then the other fingers would just be there. The pinky finger and then the pointer finger were there for stability.
That sound just
mandible claw.
That sound just now was me getting surprised and knocking my mic off the table. Oh, that hurt. That sounded really gross describing all that, Tim. Like, and he took this finger and he put it here, and it's just.
Duke, go ahead. Duke says, you know how the mandible claw came about. I do not. Oh, okay. Duke says he had bad sciatica, so he couldn't pull his foot high enough up to put his sock on that foot. So he always had one extra sock.
This is so appropriate. I'm going to say something. It's just going to isolate everyone and everyone's going to hate us. This is so great for me that we're having this this conversation, because to me, the caliber of people who are big wrestling fans are the same people that play Madden and Call of Duty all the time and nothing else.
Wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow, Sean.
It is not enough. Yeah.
Wow, that was a nice kill you just got.
Yeah, I got a couple of good ones there, actually. How's my score? Am I actually... Oh, yeah, I'm at 8-2.
Hey.
Yeah.
See, maybe we should just talk about wrestling, and that way you can just zone out.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. It's just like the wrestling fans, as I knew them growing up, were always just like aggressive meathead jerks. You know, were not people of depth that I ever enjoyed talking to.
Sean, use the gravity spikes. See what those do.
Oh, yeah.
Press Q.
I can't yet. There's no one around. I know what those do. I killed someone with the gravity spike earlier. It was pretty.
I wasn't watching. I was busy talking about wrestling.
Yeah, it was pretty awesome. But I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. I'm sure it was entertaining. It looked like good entertainment, and I enjoyed Dwayne Johnson because he's really amusing. But
he's a really good actor too.
He is now.
Yeah, he is now. He's really good in Ballers, the show on HBO. He's incredible in that show. That show's really good.
Yeah, he's actually really good now. He didn't start off that good.
Sports. And I watch Ballers. I loved watching Ballers. It was a really good show, and I'm glad he got picked up for a second season.
Yeah, he really developed as an actor. Actually, it's honestly a great story of maturing into your role.
Yeah, well, he knew his role, Sean.
Right.
You missed that.
No,
because that was one of his catchphrases was know your role and shut your mouth.
Oh no!
Sean.
What happened is I was midair walking on a wall and the match ended, so I fell to my doom. That's what happened there. So I mean, did everyone comment on me being so terrible yet?
Milkman says he stopped in freshman year when he realized it was lame, like I did. And he agrees with you in saying that the wrestling fans in high school were straight meatheads.
Right, and they got really aggressive about it. Like, if you didn't watch it, they would insult you. It just, so I was kind of, but I mean, people I know as adults who liked wrestling then, now they're really cool guys for the most part.
Yeah, like me, Sean.
Like you, yeah. It's just kind of a funny thing I was going to do.
And Duke and Milkmaid.
Right. So, but I imagine the kids that watch wrestling now in high school will probably be Call of Duty fans.
I don't know. Milkmaid says that The Rock is taking over the world. He just got a huge contract with Disney.
Yeah, he's so perfect for Disney, which is so funny considering where he started. But
yeah, he's a caricature. Well, I don't know. He's a good actor, I would say. He is a good actor.
Right, he's a good actor. Not only is he a good actor though, he's a good actor, and he's versatile enough that he can be a fun action hero that can fit into tons of Disney movies, and is also capable of doing more family friendly roles and being goofy in an endearing way. He's talented. Yeah. I like him.
Yeah, he's super charismatic. Like the charisma that comes from wrestling because he had to learn how to win over crowds. Like if you can win over a screaming arena, if you can make an arena hate you and love you, that is a huge talent.
Right, and that's I understand the draw of wrestling. It's like a very kind of cult of personality acting kind of thing. And like I say wrestling's fake and that it is a performance, but like everything they're doing takes
scripted.
Right, the matches are scripted and everything, but everything they're doing takes a lot of like physical training. They are definitely people at the top of their game there. Like
also it requires them to be very very much in tune with one another.
Right.
Because so the outcome might be decided, but everything that happens between the bell ringing, like that is something that they have to come up with, and it's a teamwork effort. There's a lot of trust that that has to be in place for a wrestling match too.
Right, like the fact that they're doing these incredibly painful looking things, but like they're back the next night and their face isn't purple is amazing.
Yeah, well, this is the thing. So I read Mick Foley. I read his autobiography. It's called Have a Nice Day, and it's 350, 400 pages. He didn't know how to use a computer. He was writing when he was on airplanes and stuff. Didn't have a laptop. Didn't have a typewriter. So he wrote everything out by hand. He wrote this entire novel by hand. But yeah, he talks about the crap that he went through. He beat the crap out of his body. His body is broken.
Oh yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Like one of his ears got lopped off in a match.
Oh my gosh, that couldn't have been on purpose.
Yeah, one of his ears got lopped off, and the doctor, it was in Germany, and the doctors had to construct a fake ear for him out of cartilage. I forget where they pulled the cartilage from the rest of his body.
Right, because it didn't, like, the surviving cartilage didn't survive long, obviously.
Yeah, it was just, that, and then there was, the classic is a Hell in a Cell match between him and Undertaker, and they destroyed each other's bodies.
Yeah.
It was like, so many chair shots, so many concussions. The blood and the cuts were real.
So I mean, yeah, that's the other thing is, like, I don't know how much of the action is what, what is what there.
I would imagine, like, I know that the thing is that those guys can't get health and life insurance.
No.
Oh, well, they have to go through, I think it's Lloyd's of London, which is the same insurance company that insured Mary Hart's legs and probably like singers' vocal cords, stuff like that. But it's not cheap insurance.
They have like a special kind of insurance.
Yeah, because they're high risk at that point in terms there's a very good possibility they could be injured beyond belief, and they would need to be paid out for that. But yeah. So yeah, one of the things that they would do, I was reading about it in that book, is that to make sure the easiest place to bleed on the human body is there's an artery running right underneath the skin above the eyebrow.
Oh yeah.
So what they would do is they would have like a friend or like a colleague or something just keep punching them in the eyebrow before they had to go on stage, so it would really aggravate the artery, so that like they could, after a couple of blows or sustained injuries in the ring, that they would just bleed naturally. They would bleed faster than somebody normally would because they already had subjected that artery to that kind of trauma before.
That's messed up.
Yeah. Right,
and like and that entertainment is big bucks for a lot of people,
Yeah.
Like there's a huge fan base for that. It never was me, but like kind of like Call of Duty isn't really me. But I enjoy aspects of it. Like I enjoy the multiplayer sometimes, and I tend to enjoy crap. I didn't mean to use that. I tend to enjoy a lot of wrestlers' acting careers after they're done.
Yeah. Same idea. I mean, if it wasn't for Call of Duty, we wouldn't have Titanfall, and if it wasn't for wrestling, we wouldn't have The Rock.
Right.
So, I mean. Yeah.
And so I mean, it's like that's the thing about life is everything has positive and negative aspects for you that maybe not the same positive and negative aspects for everyone else. You just try and stay. That's why I'm like so wow, what just killed me? I'm so steadfast about like having a negative attitude or being closed-mindedness because you never know what's going to be good later on. You know.
Oh wow, I haven't watched wrestling in a while, but Duke says that WWE does not allow blood anymore, or it doesn't have blood anymore.
Oh, weird.
I mean, yeah, they used to bust people open all the time when I was watching.
Probably like TV standards. Like, does that mean if someone bleeds by accident, what happens?
Yeah. Duke says that the best wrestling on TV is Lucha Underground.
Oh yeah, I bet.
But Yodel says that Hood Slam is the best in terms of if you actually want to go to a show in the Bay Area. He said Hood Slam is awesome.
Let's see.
What? Oh, they can't. And Iron Sports says they can't do pile drivers anymore either.
Oh yeah, I bet that could break someone's back.
Well,
man.
yeah, that broke somebody's. It was one of the wrestlers. I forget who it was, but yeah, they used. I think it might have been Stone Cold, where they said, "Oh, he's paralyzed. He can't do anything because he got pile driven." And they said, "Oh yeah, we will never. That's a real tragedy. We won't ever use that in a storyline again." And then, like a year later, WWE used somebody getting their neck broken or whatever as a storyline, and there's like, I think Stone Cold's like, "Are you serious?" And that's one of the reasons I think he left for a little bit. I could be very wrong.
Did he actually break his back, or was it a storyline?
Wasn't his back. Like there was some strain to his neck, though.
Yeah, he almost broke his neck because of a pile driver or something.
Yeah.
Right, and like that's super dangerous. Like there's a guy that I don't remember who he was. He was like one of my mom's cousins, and we don't talk about him much. But she always told me the story when I was a kid like about how bad neck and back injuries are, and he had some sort of back injury. And they had him lying down but not strapped down. They said, do not get up because your back is severed in a way that if you stand up, you'll die. Like, if you sit up. And he didn't believe it because when he was lying down, he didn't feel any pain. And so he just got up and then he died. And so it's like that stuff is so fragile that we don't even know.
Oh, yeah, that's why, you know, when somebody's injured on the football field or whatever, they always make sure don't move.
Right.
Do not move.
So to use that in a storyline after that happened, like in real life to those people, that's kind of messed up.
I had my story wrong, and Duke is correcting me in a very nice way in chat. He said it was with Owen Hart and Darren Drozdov, and his gimmick was he was a football player, but his gimmick was he could puke on command. Yep. And I saw some, like, there's a movie called Beyond the Mat. It was a documentary, and it came out at the peak of like wrestling, the Attitude Era of WWF. And that was in about 98 to 2000. And I remember there was a thing where, like, during his audition or his interview with Vince McMahon, McMahon's in full on, you know, hype man mode. He's like, puke, 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 and the dude has to puke into a trash can in his audition or in his interview. It was insane.
That's weird.
Yeah. Well, Sean, we're coming up to the end of this stream.
Yeah, we are.
We've learned a lot today. Well, I've learned a lot. I don't know about you.
What have you learned? That I am anti-wrestling because I'm a jerk?
No. I've learned that you're actually kind of proficient at Call of Duty.
Yeah, oddly, I'm doing okay in this match, and this is hardcore mode. What's my score? 11 to 15. That's not great, but it's better than
It's better than I would be doing.
Right, and that was only because I kept walking to this guy's camp trap. Yeah, I mean,
all the wrestling talk has made you a killing machine.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm all right at Call of Duty. I'm all right at video games. I'm just not good at video games. You notice, like, a lot of the moves I have, it's because I walk into dumb situations and I don't scope out the area, and that's why my score is usually low. I'm also not super accurate, but I'm okay.
Oh, see that guy that you got in the roof of the barn? I would have meleeed him.
Oh, yeah. See, I don't even bother to think about it half the time. Okay, let's see. Oh, see, that was a bad move. I knew he was there and he was waiting for me, and I thought I could throw a grenade out at him, and it didn't work. See, I almost never use melee in games, which is a skill. Like, it's a problem. Like, in Smash Brothers, for instance, I never use the shield.
You mean where melee is part of the name?
No. Melee is the game. And I use melee, but I never turn the shield on, like the bubble shield. And that and dodging with the bubble shield, that's a big deal in Smash Brothers, and I don't do it. So there's always some tool in the kit that I forget about. And it's often melee and first-person shooters, and it's because melee wasn't a thing when I learned to play first-person shooters, so I never adapted to it. And
you should stop forgetting about tools in the kit.
Tools in the kit. It's a toolkit. Well, we have 2 minutes left, so I'm just going to go ahead and back out to the main menu because there's nothing we can do in 2 minutes.
Let's talk.
Let's talk.
All right. So tomorrow, did you play any of the Darksiders games, Sean?
No, I have one on Steam, but I never played one. Can we look at my Steam library here? No, we can't. No, but I don't. Never played it.
I'm sorry. I've only played the sequel, and I didn't finish it. But it was one of those games that I was going back to when I need a palate cleanser. It would be like, all right, I'm kind of bored with all these other games. I'm going to turn my 360 on. I'm going to play this. And it was, yeah, like I said, it was my palate cleanser. I liked it. But I was playing it last year, and I was like, this would be really nice if it could get an HD remaster. And lo and behold, it happened. So I'm really excited about this. I really, 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 really like this game a lot.
Turns out I do have Darksiders 2.
Hey!
I have Darksiders and Darksiders 2 on PC. 0 hours played on both, I think.
Of course.
But I do have them.
You should maybe play like 10 minutes of each one tonight, so then you have a frame of reference.
Yeah, maybe I should. But I mean, you can see what I've been playing. I've got Call of Duty. Fallout 4 says 7.2 hours, but if you add about 30 hours to that, that's accurate because the press video... when it changed from the press version we had to the final version, it removed my hours count.
That sucks.
Well, I mean, it didn't change anything gameplay wise, but instead of showing 40 hours, it says 7.2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you've pumped a lot of time into Jedi Knight too.
Yeah, I was playing that like crazy since I got the Steam controller. Hotline Miami. These are all games we played for freaking the show. Kerbal and Undertale. That's what I've been playing for the last couple months on the PC.
Wow, something Mimic is talking crap about you, Sean.
What? What's he saying?
What's his waypoint feature? Oh, I'm just gonna turn this off.
Waypoint feature?
Yeah.
Where?
I think he was talking about when you were playing hardcore mode.
Oh, yeah.
And then now he's saying, the Steam syndrome, having a billion games and not playing any of them.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a problem. You know, it's a huge problem. And how many do I have here? I have 227 and 135 pieces of DLC. And I've played very little of them. You know, but 27 hours in the past 2 weeks is what it says. So that's
yeah. Oh, so they're talking about the Owen Hart death, and that happened on a pay-per-view where he was coming down from the rafters as the Blue Blazer, which was an alternate persona for him.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the thing, is like he would lower from a rope, and the harness broke at the pay-per-view.
Oh gee.
And he fell.
And that was a real
from
thing.
The rafters.
That
was a real thing, yeah. And everybody thought it was a joke at first, but when it happened on the pay-per-view, the camera cut away. They still went on with the show.
I mean, how did they do that without him?
There was a brief intermission, if I recall correctly, but yeah, they still went on with the rest of the pay-per-view after.
Was he dead on site, or was he just hospitalized and there was an accident, so let's go on? You don't know? Was that really not a polite thing to say? Tim? Oh, yeah, I'm without Tim now. That awkward silence was definitely a thing that happened. Okay, so Duke has explained he went to the hospital and died later. So I mean that's harsh. Oh no, you hit the plug and the desktop died. That is totally okay. So I guess I'll just be signing off by myself tonight. So thank you everybody. He's so mad I asked that question. He's just gone. Thank you everybody for watching Engadget Playdate. This has been Call of Duty Black Ops 3. If you thought we did an alright job and you want to hear more of us babble on about wrestling and movies and video games and guns and other things like that, there's a little heart button below the player. You click, and that would allow us to follow us. That lets you know when we go live on mobile, and you can have it email you, and then you'll never miss a show. You'll get to hear us babble on forever, and it's just a wonderful experience that you can enjoy that way. In the meantime, this has been Sean Buckley with Engadget.com, and I was joined by Tim Sepala until he kicked out the plug and turned the desktop off. Good job, buddy boy. And we'll see you tomorrow for Darksiders 2, the Definitive Edition. Not really sure how that's said. So until that time, good night, and have a great week, and bye.